All right, welcome into the Ryan Ripken Show. Happy Thursday. And I saw, Steve, you were saying happy Friday Junior. That's right. We're almost here and happy to see you guys. Hope you guys have had a great week so far. I know it can be a long, draining, stressful time, but guess what? Friday is almost here and we got a show for you right now, just like we have another show coming on Sunday, which I will get to. But let me talk about what we're discussing here on the Ryan Ripken Show today. Well, we're going to start off the show talking a little bit, actually, a moment, father-son moment that I want to touch on in the NBA. LeBron and Bronny got to play in a game together. It's the second time a father and son have been on the same field and court on the professional level, I believe. Actually, it might be the third. There might be an Oriole there involved. But the other part then, we're having a special guest. And I mean, you guys probably have heard of Field of Dreams. You know, you've seen the movie, heard about that. Well, guess what? We're having former Washington National Drew Storen, who has the Field of Dreams bourbon and whiskey. He's going to come on and talk a little bit of baseball, but also talk about what this great product and what they're actually doing up there. So we're going to bring him on and talk about that and a little bit of postseason baseball. Then we're deep diving into NFL Week 8, and there's a lot of drama and some uncertainties surrounding teams. We're going to hear from reactions from Chuck Pagano. I think we might have a Nick Moore sighting later on in the show. And then obviously we have time. We want to bring on some call-ins. And as always, everybody, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. We love to know where our audience is and what they are up to. Behind the scenes today, we got Zach Bollinger.
Woo! How are we feeling? Build it and they will come.
Build it.
Yeah. I was going to try to make a drink joke out of it, but then I wasn't quick enough. So I'll think about it. And when Drew comes on, I'll pretend like this didn't happen and I'll just remake the joke.
Oh, perfect.
So we'll just do that. That'll be the strategy. But happy Friday Eve.
Happy Friday Eve is correct. And you know what? I just realized I sent the wrong link to Drew. So I'm going to change it again. Now.
Yeah, love that. I'm very confused with what's happening to my left. Brad hasn't seen this
let's say hi to Brad.
Yeah,
real quickly.
let's go. Let's say hi to Brad.
Hey, Brad.
Hey.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
What's up, fellas? Look, I'm excited for the show. I'm excited for Field of Dreams whiskey, all of that. But I'm really excited because my fantasy lineup is looking real damn good this week. Ooh. Every matchup I have is against bottom 25 or better. Every matchup.
You know what that means?
No one's.
I'm gonna that they're not gonna score a goddamn point. That's what's gonna happen. But I'm still excited about it because the matchups are great.
Absolutely, it is always the matchups that you're sitting there and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a fun week, and then you look up and you're like, 5 points total. You're like, no one got above 10 points. Everyone gets shut down.
You have CJ Stroud who throws for 89 yards, no picks, no tuds. That's what happens.
Yeah. And they almost won that football game, which is a whole other thing, by the way. You know what? You know that dance, peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And welcome, Kevin Ostreicher.
What the fuck?
So this is my week before Halloween costume. I'm starting early because my actual Halloween costume is 10 times better than this. So I bought
it's
this
10 times better.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than this too. Like the headpiece is a lot bigger than this. So I wanted to do this. My 1 week away from Halloween costume. So I'm a banana this week. Next week we're gonna go even better. So this is the precedent. We all got to wear Halloween costumes next Thursday.
Wait, this is the precedent because I guess you could say that his shit is bananas.
BANANAS.
Sorry,
we should that CA Joe's on it right there.
Yeah.
There it is right there. It's true though, but honestly, Kev, good to see you. Interesting.
Yeah. Zach looked over and he just went.
Well, so hold on. Technically, Zach set the precedent because he showed up last year with the cow suit.
Yeah, Kyle Bradish did not see that one coming.
Sure didn't.
That was like our one of the first like athlete interviews, and I just walked in here in a cow suit, pretending like it was normal.
Yeah, you own the place.
Sometimes I wonder too how I've been kept up. You know, there were a lot of red flags for this show to get rid of me, and somehow here I am.
Kevin,
not nearly as many as Kevin's.
Yeah. That's what I should. Brad, that should have been the costume. It should have just been a giant red flag.
It should have been.
You're
absolutely right.
Figure out Can that banana get peeled up top?
No, it's just a regular.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Where did you even find that?
That's a spoiled banana.
this was at Spirit Halloween. I found this at Spirit Halloween.
Well,
Fantastic place.
Yeah.
Well,
It is fantastic.
Good place.
Well, Kevin, welcome banana and all
If
here.
you want me to take it off for the guests, I'll take it off.
No, keep it on.
No. You wear it, you keep it.
All right. Well, we'll wear it loud and proud.
Yeah, and it's loud and it's proud.
Yeah.
And happy Throwback Thursday too. Actually, I was trying to get this video out here. I was listening to some Kelly Clarkson, by the way, because it's just every Thursday I want to listen back to some songs, and I listen to it not on Thursdays, by the way. But since you've been gone and Behind These Hazel Eyes, going to put out a video here on socials. Zach had a great background voice, but maybe throw out some songs in the chat that you guys love. That's just an absolute throwback. I could honestly blast Behind These Hazel Eyes. I will do this after the show ends. But guys, let's dive into some topics here before we have our guests come on here at 3:15. So I just want to touch a little bit on just that outside of baseball and football. We want to talk more sports, but we know where our audience is. But I wanted to touch on the moment that LeBron James and Bronny James had on Tuesday night, the opening for the NBA season. Yeah. T-Wolves, Lakers, and a lot of people I know can feel a certain type of way. And the conversation goes around, is Bronny ready to be an NBA player? The whole nepotism type of lead. Take all that aside. Take all those emotions. That was one of the cooler moments that you're going to be able to watch. Yeah. It hasn't been done really across the history of all professional sports. And to see that moment of them checking in at the desk together, going in, that's a full circle moment. And I loved being able to witness that. I stayed up and I watched that because I wanted to see it. Then I listened after, and Bronny even saying I got to play with my dad, and it's bigger than the game. And that's something for me, I never got to experience that, but it's a rare thing. And I think that's the part of it. This is such a rare thing in sports. And I also, on a side note, I think Bronny eventually can develop into. Now I just want him to work on developing and see where that can go. That moment happened. I think the whole James family can move past it now. They had it. It was great. And now Bronny can focus on being just an NBA player and figuring out what that's going to be. And I think the hardest thing is we know everyone's going to have the expectations stacked against him, already trying to downplay him. I'll tell you what, Kev, I thought he showed good athleticism. We know he's undersized. He's going to have to figure out his role as he progresses.
Yep.
But for the moment right now, awesome moment. And now let it just solely turn into what he can do. And for LeBron and the Lakers, tell you what, we talk about that more. JJ Redick, love what they did the first week. If you're a Lakers fan, and I know there's probably some out there on this channel, I'd be happy that Anthony Davis looked as good as he did in game one. Ooh. So we'll see how it goes, but I thought it was a really, really cool moment, guys. And I think that's something that, as a fan, if you got to play with your dad, take a step back. It's a really special time.
Yeah. So it is also just, it obviously the headline with Bronny and LeBron, all that. The biggest thing that I kind of take away from this, obviously, with the NBA starting, is people say that Major League Baseball plays year round. I thought we just ended the NBA season.
Very short off season.
NBA off season, when you take into account training camp and then summer league and stuff, it really is a very short off season. So Grizzlies want to know. That's all I want to say.
Did they win?
Did they win? Yeah, Zach Edey fouled out in 14 minutes.
God,
what a start.
Nuggets play tonight, so very excited for that. But yeah, I mean, and there were people who said that okay, it's scripted, this is I can't take myself seriously either. Mm-hmm. People are saying it's scripted, this is terrible. We can just enjoy the moment, can't we?
Yeah,
we can just enjoy the moment. I get it, right? Bronny right now, is he going to be able to play a role on a championship team this season? Probably not, right? He has some development to do, like you said, Ryan, but at the end of the day, I mean, the Lakers saw something, and I know everybody wanted that LeBron to Bronny 3-point, the assist, and everyone's like, come on, man. But look, I don't think Bronny should be in the rotation right now. I get it, right? It was really cool to see that moment, but I think if he can go down, develop in the G League, figure things out, I think he could be a decent player, but it's going to take some time.
Well, and also it's the age, the expectation. he's going to have to overcome. And on the other part of it too, and we'll move on because we got to stay with our programming. He did just have a serious heart situation a year and a half ago.
Sure,
and I think people want to throw that aside here. What I love for him is put your head down and go to work. You had an amazing moment. Now you move forward here. But to say, the one thing I'll say is don't doubt what talent and what he can become in the future. If you're saying he's not ready now, that's fine. But I'm telling you, looking at him as athleticism wise, he has it. But you're going to have to figure out what he's going to do over the next 3, 4, 5 years. And that's going to be on Bronny, not on anybody else. But for one night, it was a cool 2 minutes and 48 seconds or whatever it was to see them on the court. And that's about it. And I know we'll talk about other sports, but I wanted to touch on that. But we got to keep moving with the program. And yeah, Kevin, the banana is, well, you're leaving it on. And Drew's probably going to have some questions about it. And I don't blame him.
Hey, it's a week before Halloween. So, time to celebrate.
Right.
Because the actual costume is going to be crazier. So that's why.
Well,
you got to prepare yourself.
Okay. Well, now we'll move on to the rest of our scheduled programming here. Look, baseball is moving towards the World Series. I know it's Dodgers, Yankees, and some fans that don't really want to see the big markets. Well, guess what? It's happening. It actually is still good for the game. But why don't we talk about something that even goes a little bit deeper and we all can enjoy this? I mean, hell, we're sitting at a bar right now. That's kind of what we're bringing on here. You guys have heard of the movie Field of Dreams, but why don't we talk about what the Field of Dreams, what the bourbon whiskey actually can represent? And the co-founder of that, let's bring on former Nationals first-round pick and now friend of the show and program, Mr. Drew Storen. Drew, there he is.
There we go.
How we doing?
Oh, great, Ryan. How are you? Thanks for having me on, bud. Great setup, by the way.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah, so I told you we're working on it, and I'm sorry if Kevin is our,
he's Kevin.
He's Kevin.
I'm the class clown of the group, I guess, as well.
No way. No way. Tell me more. What caused that, Kevin? What's up with the banana?
Absolutely. This was completely on my own volition because I have another costume that I'm going to wear next week because it's a week. The day is Thursday. Next week is Halloween.
Yeah.
So I had this costume. I bought it last year. I didn't get to wear it last year.
Okay.
I tried to go wear it. Didn't work out. So I'm like, you know what? Now I'm on this show.
You attempted to wear it last year and it didn't
I
work
attempted
out?
to wear it. We went to a Halloween party that actually wasn't a party at all.
Are you just wearing that?
Yeah.
All right.
Not tough scene. So I figured I'm on the show now. Might as well get some use out of it.
Yeah, lean into it. I'm proud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe this can be my audition for the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, but you know what? Also talking about peacocking, like that's how you can peacock, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're peacocking, emphasizing on the cocking. But so Drew, in general here, and actually Zach Lowther, my former teammate with the Orioles here, trying to get my player number bottle. So how about first things first, we can talk some shop and baseball and whatnot, but you and I talked on the phone about this for a while, and I was amped up about what you guys are doing. But why don't you explain a little bit of what, also, by the way, these bottles are beautiful. We got a couple of them up here. Explain a little bit about what the Field of Dreams Whiskey Company is all about.
Yeah. So essentially, high level, we're just baseball guys making bourbon. From what we say, the most famous cornfield in the world. It's me, Tyler Clippard, and Jerry Blevins. So some bullpen guys. I collected too much bourbon throughout my career, so I overpaid for some really cool stories, and I love telling them. So we had this idea in about 2018 to take the corn from the Field of Dreams movie site and make it into whiskey, and it was something that just never went away. So when I hung it up, I decided to see if we could pull it off, and here we are. We just launched our second SKU, which was in your right hand. But we first did our original SKU. We did one bottle for every guy that's ever made it to the major leagues. Brian, as you know, it's probably the trivia question that everybody loves. But we made one bottle for every guy. It's all hand numbered. Then that way you can reverse search it on our website too to see who you get. So kind of a drinkable baseball card. So we took that idea even further with our small batch. So in our small batch, we've licensed 20 and counting players, and we've hidden them under that opaque cap right here. And all you got to do is pop it off, and then you see who you get. So we got, Shoeless Joe. So I didn't plan that, I promise. That was amazing.
Sure, right.
I'm not that good. So it's been fun, man. It's a way for me to kind of hang out with my old boys, and I mean, I always talked a lot of junk that I knew bourbon, so I'm kind of putting my money where my mouth is on this. But yeah, dude, it's been an absolute blast. It keeps me around the game, and all my passions in one. I was a product design major in college, so I get to do some design stuff too.
Yeah, and then I think that's the cool part of it. It brings a uniqueness to what you guys are doing. One, also, if you guys want to have a drink, it's great. But the part now of what makes it stand out being, a collectible item in general here. And actually, I guess I could take off the top of this one.
Yeah, let's
but
see it.
14,462 is the number on this one.
You'll never guess. You'll never guess.
Don't know.
I'm excited for this.
Should I do it right now? Should I unveil this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's unfortunately no cap under that one. That's your wax top. So your number's on the back there, and then.
So wait, should I open this one?
There you go. That's the one that you pop.
Okay.
Sorry, I wanted.
No, it's all right.
Wax on, wax off.
No, it's just bad. It's bad storytelling on my end. I just didn't see it properly.
Oh, save it. By the way, this hat is phenomenal.
Yeah,
that's a
say.
sick hat. I love
If you boys want some, we'll
I was gonna say the first thing that I said to Rip when he walked in, he was like, "Yeah, I got this hat." I was like, "That is
so
cool hat.
Yeah.
Fantastic."
Who we got? Who is it?
Well, in this bottle here, it's Mr. Bob Feller.
Oh, there you go.
That is
from Van Meter.
Hey now. So, and that's the cool thing. You guys all thought it was Calvin Edwin Ripken Jr., didn't you?
I think your reaction would have been a lot crazier if it was, or you would have been like,
yeah.
Hey, come on
now, let's go. But in all seriousness, this is the cool part of it, and it's going to continue to build off of what you guys are doing. I think it's the coolest thing. First off, the bottles are amazing.
Thanks.
I know that the actual whiskey is. I think Brad was talking about it before. He said Brad has to hop on a call here in a minute. But Brad, if you can hear me, didn't you say that one of your friends went to the tournament and they bought the whiskey while they're up there?
Yeah. So his kids were in a tournament up there, ended up buying I think it was 2 bottles, but so I actually knew all about it before Rip even brought it to my attention. But so I love the concept there. And if you guys ever do have kids or whatever that goes out there and to a tournament, what have you, I'm assuming they can just buy it right there. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're actually distributed in DC, Maryland, and Delaware now too. So we've just added those states. But yeah, here in Indiana, we're also in Illinois, Ohio. So we're in 10 total states at this point. So we keep spreading. But also, if you want one, you can go to our website, drinkfieldofdreams.com, where we have I think we just reloaded like 1,000 bottles on the website because we've already sold 4,000 since Friday. So
wow.
If anybody wants to grab them before it runs out, probably a good time to do it.
And I'm actually going to pull up on the screen here while we do it. Present. I'm going to share the screen just to show them what we're talking about here with the player series bottle number lookup here. Can you guys see the screen? Nice. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. This is essentially what you can do. You can just go through and see which player was which, and you got the stats along with it here. Just like everyone knew, Kevin especially, you knew who Bobby Matthews was.
Oh, yeah.
And he appeared in 623 games over 15 seasons.
I knew that exactly.
This is actually so cool.
Yeah, I love this.
So Ryan, go up to the top, and then you can just plug in again the number that you'll never be able to guess who is on the back of your bottle, but just plug it in just in case.
So the number that I just got,
the
wax on the wax.
So 14,462. Oh no
way!
Oh no!
What are the chances of that?
Bob Tufts.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
Right?
Freaking Bob Tufts.
I was
you kidding
looking at.
me?
Yeah, I thought you were more of a Daryl Motley guy, but
yeah, I thought so too.
I missed that one. So.
I know. Well, I mean, if we're looking at all the accolades here, Daryl played in 413 games over 6 seasons for the Royals and Braves, and Tufts, man, no one's better than Bob Tufts. Debut Monday, August 10th, 1981. He appeared in 27 games over 3 seasons, and someone that's in the middle there played 3,001 games. See, doesn't he sound like an asshole right there too? When you're comparing that, where you're like, this guy played 413, 3, and then or 27 games in 3 seasons, and then there's Cal. Just
wait, scroll down. How many did Greg Wells play?
Oh, we can't forget Greg.
47. So even if you combine the rest of the 3, it's like a fifth of how many Cal played in.
Yeah.
Freak.
But you know what I love too? This is the cool part. If you look at it, and this is a great trivia question. 4 guys debuted on August 10th, 1981. You know what I mean? So if you guys are a baseball nerd, and there's a lot out there, a lot, I think you guys would like this for a lot of different reasons. What else then do we have on there that we can that we should check out or that you got upcoming?
Like I said, the small batch SKU, we're going to be adding more guys here in a couple months. And we're working on some special releases here that will hopefully launch next year. So just sign up for our emails and everything. We don't bombard people. We send you something when it means something. So stay tuned. We're working on a lot of fun stuff. A lot of wormholes created in this industry. So it's been a blast.
I'm sure. Hey, well, this is a question then from Dilly. Dilly, do all bottles have the wooden topper or just the small batch bottles?
Yep, just that small batch. So the Player Series has the wax dip. So everything on here is actually paying homage to something in my bourbon collection. So my A.H. Hirsch 16 is the reason, the whole bottle that got me into collecting bourbon. So that's why we did a blue wax dip. And then with this release, we went with the cream label because of the Hirsch, but did the tearaway. So that's the difference. The Player Series is cheaper price point, more of an everyday option. I'm essentially trying to answer all the questions people ask me about bourbon. What do I get my dad? And what's your daily drinker? So that's, the gift for dads, our Player Series, and then your daily is the small batch. So then that way, if you go grab a case, you're going to get 6 different guys. Everybody's randomized at the case level. So, like I said, it's a pack of tops that'll get you drunk.
Yeah, you're damn right. And Zach's eyes just widened over there.
I'm sorry. This is the coolest thing. Like that. Genuinely, this is like the idea of having this as like a playing card style. Like that's brilliant. This is so cool. I'm going to buy a lot of these.
I love it. Appreciate it.
The players.
You're going to buy until is there one player?
Oh, I should hunt down like a singular player. That could be like my life journey.
Bob Tufts.
Thiago Vieira.
Bob Tufts. Yeah, we got some cool ones. We got Doc Ellis is one of them. That's always a good one.
Ooh. Like there's some, this is why, Drew, this is fantastic. This is phenomenal. I think in the future, as things continue to when you have other cool things coming on or putting out, you got to let me know so I can let the people know.
100%.
This is fantastic here. You mind then because this is now switching gears just a hair, but I know we talked briefly in the past about how the game has changed. Mm-hmm. And I know for those that didn't know, you were a first round pick in 2010.
8.
No, 9. See, you don't even remember the dates now. They're just passing by.
Yeah. It was Strasburg's draft. I was 9 picks after Strasburg. So, 9. There you go.
There you go. Well, we were talking about the old days of minor league ball. Had Buck Showalter on last week talking about minor league stories. So to set the stage for this is maybe you can get your mind rolling here of some of your favorite ones. Buck was telling us about they were driving to Zach. Do you remember where they were driving from? Got to go back and roll the tape.
Yeah, we're
on
gonna
that.
have to find that.
But what we do remember is the bus driver all of a sudden had,
it was like down a mountain.
When you got to go, they're going around the mountain, and Buck had to drive the bus in AA while the driver was letting it eat back there for 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, he said it was 30 minutes. They had to drive the truck.
and Buck Showalter is driving the minor league bus down there. And the reason why I know time frame, it was the same year my dad was in AA. Mm-hmm. So it was the late 70s.
Well,
like 79, 80, I believe.
Buck was also saying the other names on that bus, and there were a few like Hall of Fame.
Don Mattingly was there too.
Like,
yeah.
A lot of important people on the bus tried to drive down the mountain.
Oh yeah. Drew, you got one of those stories?
Yeah. I guess yeah, I've got a few, and I'm usually not allowed to talk about this because my buddies say I didn't spend enough time in the minor leagues to ever have a take on this. But luckily they're not here to blow me up yet. I would say my favorite one was because I always felt like there was an inverse relationship in A-ball where the stadium was either nice or the hotel was nice, right? Like, so if the stadium was nice, hotel was, oh boy. So it was down in Greensboro. We rolled in about 1:30 and we were going over to the Waffle House to grab some food. And a gentleman drove up in a van and asked if we wanted some entertainment for the night. And said, hey, yeah, I got a couple rooms at the Ramada if you guys, and So then I do a key check, and of course we're staying at the Ramada. I'm like, oh man. And this hotel was the grossest thing ever. It just had the wax, coating on the carpet. I only showered at the field because the shower head was rusted over. It was eye-opening for me because that was one of my first road trips. And so I was, I thought I was it. So I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I'm as green as it gets and ignorant. So it was, it was pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, you said that was A-ball?
Mm-hmm.
Were you playing? I'm trying to think where the Ramada that I stayed at. Was it in Asheville?
Greensboro.
That is it. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have stayed at that same Ramada.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, that people that wear banana hats over there, they go there for some different reasons, Kevin. After hours.
Luckily, I'm here. Not so.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember that. One of my stories, I think I just tried to go through some. I told Buck about the bus got overheated, the engine, so we had to keep pouring water on it to get back to Hagerstown. And
was that when SETI was there?
No, well, we played against SETI. So I was with the Nationals at the time. SETI was with the O's. The other one, though, when I was with the Orioles, we were playing in Connecticut. And driver Dan, hope he's doing well. Not the best driver. We said, hey, like move the bus away from the stadium. And these stadiums are not these high end like we're talking about. A foul ball can reach the parking lot. So driver Dan left the bus too close to the field. Foul ball shatters the window of the bus, but we got to drive to New York after the game. And it was going to be like a 2.5 hour drive, 3 hour drive. And this is where it gets worse. It'd be fine if there was okay conditions, not when there's a rainstorm.
Yeah. Oh man.
So we had to tape up the bus through one window. And then while we were driving, the rain picked up and the tape or whatever we had whooshed off. So then me and Tim Raines Jr. are holding this puppy together, and a couple other guys for the rest of the bus ride while water's coming in. It was beautiful. and then we got our shit rock there by the Staten Island Yankees.
Yeah, was that just like got off? You're doing that. You got off the bus and you're at the stadium. Did you have to play immediately, or did you at least get to sleep after all your workout of closing the window?
I mean, it was after a night game. We were traveling, so it was fine. Oh, but going to Connecticut, they didn't have enough hotel rooms, so we had to quadruple up in 2 beds.
I think the minor leagues sounds fun.
Oh, these kids know nothing about it now, Drew, at all.
Well, Drew, what Ryan wants to do with us, since we never experienced that, is he wants to take us on a road trip and give us the minor league condition treatment. And what?
Yeah, you got to sleep on a pool raft on the floor.
Yep.
That's unnecessary. That's a good hack. Yeah, I do like seeing some people now complaining about their free housing they're getting. That's probably my favorite part, considering the types of places that you just had to find. A little different, but hey, good for them.
A lot has changed. Hey, before we let you get out of here, then, because I just think the context behind it all, the stories in the minor leagues, the system of how it all is, but then also like right now it is playoff time here. And correct me if I'm wrong here, you got to have the playoff experience, but specifically you were part of the teams where in 24 was a good year, right? Or 2014 was a good year. 2015 step back.
Yeah.
A lot of expectations. But can you just talk about right now in 14 or of all of it, what postseason baseball is like, of what the atmosphere, of what you're dealing, and trying to give context about how it truly is a different beast?
Yeah, it really, it's when you get to the big leagues, you end up playing in a gear that you've never played in before, as you know, like it's just that next adrenaline rush. But, the playoffs, it's just splitting hairs every pitch. It's just wild. The intensity is awesome. The crowd's electric. It's and random things happen. That's the thing. All the crazy stuff that people love baseball for tend to happen because of all that pressure and all the, just craziness that the game is. Mm-hmm. And, for me, it's always about the team that, they always say, like, don't don't let it get to you or whatever. That's why experience always plays. That's why those teams that are willing to take a 6-hole single end up winning. Like as much as the game is going to change, like strikeouts matter more in the playoffs, right? Like, so there is an adjustment. It's a different game. And like, that's why it's all those little things, every cliche, right, that we'd run through in an interview is playing out. And now, with the World Series, this is main event WrestleMania type stuff. Like, this is going to be electric.
Oh yeah, they got everything that they want, right? You have the superstars, you have the two big markets, you have the global market because of Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto as well. And then the guys are coming up big too. Juan Soto has been, you saw it there. That was the series clinching at bat, but then Stanton is a different beast in the postseason. And obviously then we're not talking about Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and Teoscar Hernandez and the rest of this Dodgers team that's so talented. Do you have a favorite memory though, then Drew? Like, do you have a favorite memory of the postseason for you? I know, unfortunately for you with the Nats, because I remember being
there's some tough ones, tough ones to look past there. The Jason Worth walk-off was incredible. Like that game was amazing, and that at bat was amazing. J-Dub did his normal, like fight, and wait for the one mistake, and he got me in Philly doing the same thing. So I knew what was going to happen, because on top of that, he was facing Lance Lynn, my old high school teammate. So I knew what Lance was going to do, and I knew what he could do, and he put that thing in the bullpen, and it was. I've never heard a stadium erupt like that. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's what Jason said too, and I got the chance to talk to him. Which, by the way, that interview's out for everyone that wants to see it. Those moments you can never forget. Sorry, he tagged you for it, but you knew what was possible, and it was a great lesson for me to not really pay attention to the scouting reports, because the scouting report we had was that he sat soft late in a count, especially late in games, and so I had him like 2-2, and he kept fouling off my slider, and then like I tried it again for a ball, and I'm like, man, scouting report definitely says he's sitting soft. Like, I see that. Reach back, and he went dead central. Bye-bye. And so then we signed him the next year, and I was like, hey man, like, gotta ask you, scouting report said that. He's like, that's not true at all. I'm like, oh no. So you're telling me, so you know what that's an interesting concept, right, guys? And we're talking about what analytics and what scouting reports do, but it doesn't tell you the whole story of what guys do and how they think. Especially the older school guys, and I'd consider Jason Worth one of those older school guys where he understands he's got to think about what he wants to do. And I'll tell you, he battles. That is a grinder. And I'll tell you what, with 2 strikes, he's not the one that's always – today's day and age, Drew, as you know, striking out is a lot more acceptable nowadays. A lot of those guys back then, it was, no, I got to find a way. And the person will make it hurt. But yeah, Drew, I think that's all I got for you, man. And I appreciate you taking the time. And again, where can everyone find? It's on Instagram. You guys are at Drink Field of Dreams on there. It's if I have the right website, drinkfieldofdreams.com as well. Am I missing anything else?
No. If any of your old teammates that want a bottle, have them go through the email dump. So we'll get the guys that have a number, get them their bottle. And I really appreciate you having me on, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, I will. And Zach Lowther, I know he's already bugging me about it. I'll text you with Zach, because he definitely is all about it. But Drew, appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, Drew.
Restoring everybody. He is awesome, and honestly. And you guys know I don't wear the hats for the shows. This is a dope hat.
Cool hat.
Such a dope hat here. But what they're doing is it's unique. It's one of one. And to tell the stories of baseball players, you're talking about remembering what guys have done. Overall right now in baseball, to just give you guys the context of it, because I sometimes forget, 23,114 players have made it to the major league level in the history of the game. And that might seem like a lot, or it might seem like a little, but every one of them has a story. And some of those ones we were joking about with Bob Tufts, right? But that's a really awesome moment there. And also he technically shares the same date with a Hall of Famer that, fortunately, unfortunately, I'm related to.
Yeah, I actually I'm not gonna lie, I've already sent the link to a few of my group chats because I was like, you guys got to check this out. This is such a cool idea. I love the trading card aspect to it of like you buy a case of it and you have 6 random, players that in a lot of cases you probably would not have known. It's this, and I love that the stats are there. It's how many games they played. It's not just, oh, you get this guy, and then you're like, you have to go research on your own. It's got the stuff for you to look at and go, wow, this dude played a lot. Or, hey, the one guy on there, 27 games over 3 years, and you're like, okay, this is just a guy who was a spot player, maybe here and there, but like you said, Ryan, every single one of these guys has a story. So it's so cool to see that kind of come to life in this fashion.
Yeah, I never really got into the like either which way you do it. Like if you like the virtual, like you have the number you can plug in, or if you want the physical, like in your hand top.
Yeah.
Like it's best of both worlds. And that's what I love, because like I'm more of like, hey, those toppers, like I'll display those, like, get a little section for them. But if you just want to look, you plug in the numbers, you get the stats. Like, I think that's really, really cool.
Oh, damn right it is. It's very cool. So we'll have more of that information. We'll have Drew on in the future to talk more about what the Field of Dreams whiskey they're up to. But guys, I think it's time we got to continue moving on here. And while we continue to move into our NFL coverage, and I saw some people talking about, hey, Commanders and Caps. We'll talk more of Washington in the future there, because obviously hockey season's back, and let's go Caps. That's the team in the region here. Commanders obviously are having a great year so far. We will talk about all that, but we got to talk about a little bit of NFL drama here and around week 8. But before we do that, guys, let's take a trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. I saw Brad try to get it right in there right at the end. Almost got it. Almost did. But guys, we actually on Sunday, we're doing a pregame show live from the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. We're going to be doing it roughly around 10:30, 11 when we usually do, up until kickoff. And it's a tailgate experience up there. And if you still want to go, we have already giveaways that we gave away to listeners and viewers. But if you still want to go to Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia, it's an hour away from Owings Mills, hour and 15 from Baltimore. You can go online. I can even pull up the link here in a moment. You use the code RIPKEN and you get 20% off. And they got the tailgate experience, the tailgate buffet. They have a nacho bar, which I am going to be there early and often during that. And then you can watch almost every single game. And it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So there are ways to win prizes with those donations going to the West Virginia Breast Health Initiative. So if you guys are wanting to be a part of a tailgate experience, we'll see you guys on Sunday. We will be up there. But guys, it has been a very interesting first half of the NFL season. We're about at the halfway point here.
Yeah, a couple more games. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Next
started
week.
Yesterday, didn't it? The season started yesterday, didn't it? It feels
literally. We were we not just in here watching? Like, did Isaiah Likely not just step out of bounds like 3 days ago? Like, what has happened? It feels like just 2 days ago we were sitting here. The Ravens were 0-2, and it was panic. It was where are we? Now the Ravens are 5-2, and we're sitting there. It feels like the trade deadline's here. Well, that's still 2 weeks away. I mean, it does feel like the entire season, just like that.
Well, one thing that hasn't changed is Baltimore wants someone fired. So good. As
love
always.
Baltimore sports. If there's not an assistant coach that half the fan base wants fired for like no reason,
first couple weeks it was the head guy.
Yeah, then we don't want it. Then Baltimore sports fans don't want a team if they can't demand for an assistant coach to be fired whenever anything goes wrong.
I love the passion.
More passion, more energy. And to close out again on our event up there at the Hollywood Casino, essentially too, if you use the code, I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see the tickets that we have. They're still available, still some available. And there's 2 options here. And there's one, and I know it can seem like a lot, with the discount, even with all that, because I did the taxes that were part of it. Use the code. What you see is what you get with the price. It'd be $40 and $60 using the code Ripken. So if you guys want to come up there and be a part of it, and once again, the donations then for the tickets are going to the West Virginia Breast Health Initiative. We'll see you guys up there. And I'll tell you what, it could get a little funky with our crew we have going up. We might be setting up shop there a little early to get ready for that football Sunday. But guys, let's talk about now this week 8 or what's transpiring, or maybe what's happened before week 8. And the Chiefs got better. I think that was the first thing we got to dive into here. The Kansas City Chiefs made a move that I think the rest of the league is not very happy about, but made their team better. DeAndre Hopkins is going from Tennessee to Kansas City for a 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And the Titans are going to take on some of the money, I think $2.5 million, while the rest Kansas City is going to take on. But that's a weapon that they need. And now Patrick Mahomes in an offense that's missing Rashee Rice. That's a big part. And Isaiah Pacheco's been out for them. They look like Hollywood Brown's been out, but guess what? They're undefeated, and they added one of the best wide receivers over the last decade, Kevin.
Yeah, and I want to say something quickly about the whole situation, because I've seen a lot of people getting angry with Tennessee for not giving Derrick Henry to the Ravens, which I am angry at Tennessee for not giving Derrick Henry to the Ravens, right?
Hold on, pause.
What?
Kevin, move the damn. Why did you move the mic?
Move the mic over. Yeah,
I don't think I
go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
it was in your
now
face
now
for a
we're
second.
better. I'm mad at Tennessee for not giving Derrick Henry to the Ravens last year,
Yeah.
but it's two different situations.
Very, very
two
different.
two different situations. Derrick Henry was a lifer there. They wanted to, I think they thought the backlash for trading him was not, personally, I think if you have an opportunity to get better, you get better. And guess what? Tennessee did it this time, but didn't do it last time. But it is different because DeAndre was there, year and a half?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry was there for 8 years.
Mhm.
It's different.
And he's the face of their
Yeah.
face of the franchise. No, as much as you want to talk about DeAndre Hopkins as DeAndre Hopkins, he was never the face of the franchise for Tennessee. This was, I agree, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's two very different situations.
Go ahead,
So
Brad.
I think I don't know if the Chiefs got any better. I think they just made up for what they lost. Maybe.
I agree.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins hasn't really done much. And I know that he hasn't had a whole lot of good quarterbacks in Tennessee necessarily, but he didn't really do a whole lot in Arizona either. So I'm just not sure. Look, I think it could at best be a Juju Smith-Schuster kind of situation where he gets a couple looks. Maybe he takes top off the defense a couple times. But the real problem that I've noticed with the Chiefs, now granted, there isn't really a problem when you're 5-0, 6-0, whatever. But the offensive line, I think, is what's caused Pat Mahomes to throw so many interceptions. I won't say cause, but it could add that it's contributed. Their offensive line's atrocious. They don't have a really good run game, and Pat Mahomes has been forced to throw a lot. So I think, yes, it was a need that they had, but I don't know if the Chiefs really necessarily got a whole lot better because of the addition of D-Hop.
Well, I'd argue, Brad, I actually think it might be, for me, the opposite of it. I think if the Chiefs couldn't run the football, they would be screwed because they're not passing it very well overall. Besides Juju Smith's game, Kareem Hunt has actually looked solid for this team, but they don't, outside of Travis Kelce, who scares you on that passing offense, right? Like that's the part.
Travis Kelce doesn't even scare me right now.
And Xavier Worthy is that gadget guy that has a lot of ability, can do a lot of different things, but he's not an alpha one. I don't think DeAndre is necessarily going to be an alpha one, but when you leave a situation that was bad, Tennessee is not a good situation right now. You're going to be rejuvenated. You're going to get a chance to do what you can do best for DeAndre Hopkins. That is intermediate routes, sit down in zones, and pick up first downs. And if he can be that plus a red zone threat, that could help the Chiefs. But it did make them better. To how much of the extent, we'll find out, especially for a Chiefs offense with Patrick Mahomes. This is definitely the worst statistical season that we've seen. But then on the other side of it, guys, so let's go through this list if I have it correctly. The DeAndre Hopkins is to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper is now in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, I'm not saying a contender for the Jets, but Devontae Adams has now gone to the Jets. A lot of wide receivers. I think it's fair to say for Baltimore, they don't need to go and get an offensive player in my mind. They don't need to.
No.
They're doing well. Rashad Bateman, man, he looked great, and he continues to prove why he was a valuable asset to Baltimore in the offseason, why they wanted to extend him. Zay Flowers, talented player. Derrick Henry, that's enough can be said about him. But on the defensive side, maybe that's where the Ravens could add to their Super Bowl run, is maybe going after a certain pass rusher perhaps. And Peter Schrager on Good Morning Football actually had these comments. So let's play that clip and we'll react on that.
They don't need a wide receiver. Do the Ravens start looking for pass rushers? And I look at names around the league that could be, on the block. And last year, they got a career year out of Jadeveon Clowney. He's 30 years old right now. Jadeveon Clowney is wasting away in Carolina on a team that's going nowhere, do they pick up the phone and say, I know he signed for big money last year with you guys. Is there any way you'll eat some of the salary that's left and we can bring him back for this stretch run? I look at Zadarius Smith, who's in the division over there in Cleveland. I look at some of these teams that we expected to be maybe playoff contender teams that have these big veteran pass rushers, and I wonder if they do the same thing they did last year when they brought in a Kyle Van Noy and a Clowney, and they added some of those veteran guys to just get them over the hump. I do think this defense right now, which is so strange talking about a Baltimore team, is their Achilles heel, and I just don't know if that's going to be there in the backbone of the team when it matters in the cold weather in January.
So the part that he was focusing on with Peter initially is this something, is it a need that Baltimore needs? And I see this, Johnny, of saying we need more offensive depth. Well, a guy like Mike Williams has now become expendable there in New York. Do you go and get another wide receiver to have depth? But I think on the other side, what we've seen, the Ravens have talent on the defensive side, but pass rush, you can never have too much of it. That's why they still went out and got Yannick Ngakoue to sign him to a deal, because why? You're trying to bolster your pass rush. So, guys, Zadarius Smith, and people forget, Zadarius was signed with Baltimore until he wasn't a couple of years ago.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Do we bring him back? Does he come back to Baltimore? But I think above all, and Zach, you can lead off with it, that would be something I think a lot of Ravens fans would be happy about if they went after another elite type of pass rusher to help bolster this defense.
Yeah, and a lot of people we talk about, I know the big kind of argument right now, we can talk about receiver, the depth about that. And then obviously a lot of people saying, hey, go get secondary. You're struggling against the pass. Go get secondary help. I don't necessarily think it's a talent thing in the secondary still. And we're going to get into this in a little bit, but I think it's still complete miscommunications. I think that's the biggest thing hurting the secondary right now. But then as well as there hasn't been as much pressure when the Ravens are sending just 4 guys on basic downs when they're not bringing blitzes. It feels like the pressure isn't always getting there or affecting the quarterback. So you go get a guy like Zadarius Smith, like Jadeveon Clowney. You get a guy who then helps bolster the pass rush. You can get him in there to disrupt the quarterback. And even if the quarterback has to throw it a second earlier, that's a second less, half second less that the wide receiver has to be covered by the corner. That he's got to be covered by Roquan. That he's got, these holes that the offense is finding in the secondary. Those holes get covered up if the quarterback has less time to throw. So I think this is one of those, let me help you, get the defensive specialist that can go rush the quarterback, have him go off, be like, go get the quarterback, put pressure on the offense. And now the secondary doesn't have to cover as long, which takes pressure off them.
Well, and just to finish off with this, and I don't know if Kev, or Brad will end with you on the point then, but Kev, real quickly here, I think when you look around at some of the best teams out there specifically, they're able to control the line of scrimmage. And for Baltimore, that's something that they've always took pride on. And they do that, relatively speaking, against the run game. They were the number 1 rushing defense up until last week. The Bucs had some success running the football, but overall, that's been a strong suit for Baltimore. They have certain guys, but you're seeing around the league, and other teams that I think are similar to Baltimore. Like I would look at San Francisco in the sense of they want to be tough. They want to try to get after the quarterback. They want to be aggressive, and they have a really good run game. Now, different quarterbacks, obviously, but it just seems like a pass rusher would really fit the need of what Baltimore could use here for the second half of the season.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, when you talk about in the secondary, I'm with Zach. I don't think it's a talent issue. Where would that guy play? For as much as people want the Ravens to give up on Marcus Williams, they're not going to. They're going to ride that out. Right? Mm-hmm. It's going to happen.
Makes no sense.
Corner room, Brandon Stevens, Nate Wiggins, obviously Marlowe's there. That to me, I get. Now the thing that I will say with that is if someone goes down, that, like for example, wide receiver, yes. Yeah. But in the pass rushing department, Baltimore already has 6 pass rushers on their roster. Mm-hmm. So if they add somebody, you'd either have to put Elisa Isaac on IR, you move on from Ngakoue to get more of a 3-down player potentially, because you can't keep 7 outside linebackers. Yeah. That's even 5 is pushing it a little bit. So to me, I think that yes, Zadarius Smith would fit a role nicely. Jadeveon Clowney, I've heard, from the social media airwaves, is Calais Campbell maybe an option on the defensive line. If Miami keeps losing, would they trade him or maybe outright cut him and do right by him, and is that a player that Baltimore would love to have back? I would love him back in Baltimore, but I think when you talk about what John Harbaugh has said, the pass rush and the secondary are married together, and right now they could not be further single. Like they are single right now. They're just not on the same page, and I can sense that, like, strong start for Van Noy. Ngakwe's had moments. Oweh's had moments here and there. Ajabo had maybe 1 or 2 this season. They need more consistency there because right now guys are getting way too much time in the pocket. In the pass rush success we saw against Tampa, those sacks were in garbage time. We can be honest about that.
Yeah. And also then, Brad, you can finish it out here with the point, bring you back on. But essentially, too, for the Ravens, finish, like having a finisher on that side. We talk about Derrick Henry on offense as the finisher, the punisher in the fourth quarter. On the other side for Baltimore, they're looking at who can be those guys that can finish out the game here when Baltimore has the lead and you're able to put it away securely. Who is that guy that's going to step up and be that? I think is still the question that remains.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what you guys are saying as far as the pass rush is concerned, but the secondary is really where a lot of the problems are as well. The defense can't play man. I don't know what's going on there. We've heard some. We'll have a comment here from Chuck Pagano that a lot of these issues are fixable, but Sean Lattimore has been shopped around or is reportedly being shopped around as a potential trade candidate, and I think that would be a huge addition to the secondary, in my opinion. The rush could always use some extra bodies out there to put pressure on the QB, but these guys are getting open regardless. So I just think that if we had somebody else in the secondary, add some more depth back there. Marlon's actually been stepping up and playing some really good ball lately, but we've seen a lot of these guys getting beat. And look, they've been playing some really elite wide receivers, but these are the types of wide receivers you're going to see in the playoffs too. So you got to be able to get a lockdown corner. Sean Lattimore could be that guy. We'll see. But I think that it's more than just the pass rush that's the issue there for the Ravens. I think they're 29th or 30th in big plays or plays over 20 yards or something like that, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think that it's a marriage. When you're able to have guys that can get after the quarterback, it can help then your secondary not have to be relied on as much, and vice versa. If the secondary is so locked down, then you can then blitz or find different ways to apply pressure. But right now, it's not either way is in sync. And before we get to that Chuck Pagano video, we got to give Tom some love there. Tom, Kevin, if you don't give up,
I don't even know what to do.
Well, first stand up, get up.
We're gonna take 20 laps around the pool table. How about that?
20. I almost just fell on my seat, Tom.
All right, sure, that works.
All right,
as we get ready. And you think Kevin's ran more than 20 laps in the last 6 months?
What?
Oh my God!
And the arms too.
He's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. This is prime content right here. I also have an incredible poll today that we need to get to at some point. Oh, now we're going backwards. Just a running
Matt
banana.
Stopped on what is happening.
We don't know.
Well, so Matt, to give you context, appreciate Tom for gifting 20 memberships to the channel. And Kevin's like, I don't know what to do. I'll run 20 laps. And this is the first time Kevin has run since
he's wearing the khakis,
2000
so he's comfortable.
2005 is the last time Kevin ran.
I'm actually impressed because he used to do cross country in khakis, and now I feel like we're going back to that. Like, Kevin, I think you've done. How many laps have you gone? That's only 12. I feel like
did he flip off the camera too when he went by, or that was? I don't know what to do. Kevin, are you out of breath? Oh no, dude. Yeah, see, that's what we're talking about. When we try to get better here, like when we do our gridiron golf, we need to work on our conditioning. We're working on getting fit here. And if you're not pushing your elements or pushing your body, how do we do that, Kevin?
Oh my God.
This is
the content people want.
Oh,
there's no way that actually sped up the process.
He just sits down like nothing just happened.
See?
Exactly. Oh my God.
Conditioning test has nothing on me.
I think a lot of people have a lot of questions, including myself. But you're a good kid.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Tom.
With 20 gifted memberships is insane.
When I move,
Appreciate
you
you.
move, man. Just
Just
like
like
that. Unbelievable.
He said the vibes are high. He's on vacation, so maybe this was a drunk purchase for him. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we're very with that, by the way. And before we get into then some more Ravens content here and around the NFL, I think it's a good time that we take a ride on our Adams Jeep of Maryland here up there in Aberdeen. Kevin, ride. Oh, you're riding. I feel so.
Don't feel safe right now.
No.
I'm a very cautious driver.
Right. Okay.
That's how it keeps happening with his microphone. Is the banana is hitting it? I just watched it happen.
Put your banana away, Kevin.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just-
it is. It is.
I was like, it wasn't like that before. Now it makes
That's
sense.
true. Okay.
Kevin, you need a bigger banana.
Banana chin.
Banana chin.
Yeah.
I'm like Johnny Bravo over here.
Or the crimson chin.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
God, Kevin. But our friends at Adams Jeep of Maryland up there in Aberdeen. Hey, look, guys, I'm trying to get the share the screen up there for the logos. So people, I think, because we don't have it the way that I want it to. Why the heck can't I get this? Pause. Why I can't get this up the way that I want?
The pause didn't help you.
It didn't help at all.
No.
It didn't. Let's see.
You can't share the screen.
There we go.
There you go.
So we got Adams Jeep right there. Our friends up there. And again, you go up there and buy a used car from Adams Jeep. You use the phrase Rocco sucks. Talk to Chuck and Matt. They'll get you a gas card up to $1,000 with purchase. But guys, it's not just about only on getting your car, getting a new car there. Sorry, I still can't get over it.
Kevin,
Like your banana
you
chin.
just wait till next Thursday.
Well, but hey, here's the thing though, car enthusiasts. If you just want to join us now as well, it doesn't have to be for a Jeep. It can be Toyota, Ford, or Chevrolet. This is the next part I wanted to show you guys. Was talking about with the Adams Extreme Motorsports.
Oh,
That's Stop Traffic. That is just what is the grand opening is Adams Extreme Motorsports, the ultimate destination for off-road thrills and custom designs. And it doesn't have to be a Jeep. It can be Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, whatever you want. You can experience top-notch design and customization services that was exclusive to Jeep owners for the last 36 years. Now, Stop Traffic, it's for anybody who is looking to do that. And to commemorate the special occasion, they're also offering a fantastic deal. You buy 3 tires, you get the 4th for just $1. $1. And I'll tell you what, tires are expensive. So if you want to go and check out the custom wheels, go check our friends Chuck and Matt up there at Adams Jeep in Aberdeen. So guys, that's all I have to say about that. I can't get over what I'm looking at still.
you just have to stare.
Yeah, I'm staring too long.
Exactly.
I'll get back on my game. End scene. Look, you guys
Rip can't stop staring at Kevin's banana.
Well, when you put it like that, bro.
The resemblance is uncanny. Now, scene, back to what we wanted to talk about. You guys mentioned out there about the Ravens are saying, do they need secondary help? Or is there just some things inside that can be corrected because of communication? And that's actually what Chuck Pagano, former Ravens defensive coordinator and former NFL head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, he was on the Pat McAfee show talking about how he believes what the Ravens have is a lot of talent and things can be fixed. Well, let's play the video for you guys.
Try not to be incredibly biased when I ask you this. The Ravens look really, 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 really good. Okay, offense is setting historical numbers right now. Is there anything that can stop them from going to the Super Bowl at this point?
Hard pressed to find. You just mentioned it. I mean, that offense, Lamar, those guys are rolling. Derrick Henry, special teams. It looks like Tucker's figured things out, right? Defensively, one worry, all right? Pass defense. Like, you cannot run the football in this group. They're number 1 in the league right now as far as, the run defense goes. But pass defense right now, they're 32nd in the league. They've had some communication issues. They've given up 34 plus 20 passes. That's dead last in the National Football League.
Jeez.
14 touchdowns, which is ranks 29th in the National Football League right now. So they've got a new signal caller in Zach Orr. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. They lost 3 coaches, right? Mike McDonald went to Seattle. He's having success there in his first year as a rookie head coach. All right. The guy Weaver went down to Miami. He was the D-line coach, big part of that defense from a year ago. And Denard Wilson's at Tennessee. And Tennessee's kicking ass on defense. So they lost a lot of good coaches. They've got new coaches in there. Sometimes this takes time, but you can see there's some plays that from a communicate, like too easy. T. Higgins making that
Fourth
play.
quarter
Here they're in
still
split safety defense, and we got a guy, running free. These are all correctable things, but they better get them corrected in a hurry.
Yeah, maybe it just takes a little time to find your voice on the defensive side. Hopefully they'll be able to do that because this Ravens team's must watch.
Filthy.
But maybe they're must watch because they're giving up so many explosive plays too. It's like, oh, it's a fun time when Baltimore's,
overs.
But the fourth quarters, seemingly for that Baltimore defense, have been kind of like, we're over. It's not over yet.
No.
And then they creep back in. A couple of those plays, obviously, in that situation.
So right there, first off, so you hear Chuck Pagano saying this Ravens team, it's hard pressed. But if the one thing that has been the Achilles heel that a lot of Ravens fans have watched, it has been the explosive plays the defense has allowed. Specifically, the passing game, passing defense, numbers wise, they haven't been good. And part of that is going to be when you have leads, teams are going to have to pass a lot. But the problem has been, and I'm glad that Chuck Pagano brought it up, guys, watching some of those videos, and this is something that we've talked about for weeks, it's on some of these big plays, it is just a huge breakdown of miscommunication. The Rachaad White touchdown was a miscommunication on who was covering him coming out of the backfield. On some of the plays with the Bengals before the half with Jamar Chase, the big play over top, there was a miscommunication on who's covering the deep part of it. Kyle Hamilton in the first game even said, hey, my bad, I messed up on the coverage. That was a blown assignment that Xavier Worthy scored the easy touchdown. So the point that we're hearing is a lot of miscommunications. And the other part that it can't be undermined, the Ravens did lose a lot of great football minds to different opportunities. And that does matter for a first-time defensive coordinator. But I think what's evident here, you got to communicate better on the field. But what is that? Is that, to me, that doesn't seem like a talent issue. But after a while, when do the miscommunications get fixed? Because if they don't, the results are going to stay the same. And that is something that Baltimore can't afford here as we move into the later months, because those moments could come back to bite them.
Yeah, and I think Chuck nailed it. These are all fixable. A majority is just miscommunication. And the way that I feel like you can tell it's miscommunication is these big plays. It's very rare that you're like, oh, great play by the quarterback and receiver. Like just a great, good coverage, whatever. They just beat him. On so many of these, it's guys wide open. It's not, oh, made a good play. It's who the heck was supposed to be covering him. There's Rachaad White one. Nobody on that side of the field. The Xavier Worthy one, obviously Kyle Hamilton admitted to that one later. No one close to him. Jamar Chase, no one covering over the top. It's those moments where you're like, when the talent is communicating, the Ravens have proven that they've got some guys back there. I know Marcus Williams is not playing good ball, but as Brad said, Marlon Humphrey's playing great. Brandon Stevens, if he could ever get his head around, would probably be a top 3 corner in this league. Kyle Hamilton's Kyle Hamilton. There's never going to be a question about his talent. But you got to get the communication down. And like you said, Rip, and like Chuck was saying, yeah, it's still semi-early enough into Zach Orr's tenure where you're like, okay, miscommunications are going to happen. It's got to be fixed. But we are running out of time we're halfway through the season pretty much of, hey, these can't be, oh, we just had miscommunications, because come November, come December, come January, come February, hopefully, miscommunications is the difference between you hoisting a Lombardi and you're sitting home on the couch saying, how do we get there?
Yeah. And I think that's where it all comes back to here. And Brad, why don't I bring you on for this point? We can, Kevin, you can finish it up.
Yep.
But, there's a combination. I think at the end of the day, the results on the field are going to matter. Whether people are going to say you have the people in house that can do it. But I think it is fair to understand for Zach Orr, that people are going to look at what's happening. He is going to take the brunt of the issues here because he's the one calling the plays. But clearly right now, when I look at this team, we saw the Buffalo game and you're going, man, you dominated the Bills and Josh Allen. And then the Cowboys, you dominated for 3 quarters. And yes, the Cowboys have some issues, but they had nothing. They were lifeless. But it's those moments in an instant where it's like was like a hot pot, or an instant pot. Something, it just gets cooking really quickly. And that's been the problem for Baltimore. And that's put them in some tough situations.
Yeah, well, fourth quarter has been a huge problem, obviously, too. And so much so that Ed Reed mentioned on the Manning cast that it was a problem, like that they're not going to win championships, or they're not a championship defense, thinking that they won the game in the fourth quarter. And it was kind of a little bit startling to see Ed Reed just be out with it, but we know he doesn't mince words. However, Kyle Van Noy actually ended up responding to this as well. And he was on his podcast basically saying, hey, Ed Reed's right. I don't think that anything that Ed Reed said was wrong, and that we got to be better. So take a listen to his reaction.
Some lulls at the end, which we got to figure that out. If we're trying to be a championship team, we got to cut it out. I saw the comments of Ed Reed, and he's right. If we're trying to win a championship, we got to cut that out at the end of the game. And that's the difference between a good team and a great team. And we're not there yet. And that's the beauty of it. We're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to get better. There was a lot of great things in this game, but we got to cut it out at the end of the games. We are better than that. And we'll figure it out.
It's a good point, Brad. I'm glad you brought that video up. And also, this is why I love Kyle Van Noy, by the way, is that he's just going, yeah, we need to be better. And he's not even arguing that. There's no excuse. There's no anything. It's like, yep, we got to. But the one thing that the Ravens do have that's a luxury, when you are finding ways to win games, and now you're sitting at 5-2, it sure makes it a whole hell of a lot easier to be able to continue to try to figure it out than you are like the New York Jets, where, hey, you have no room for error. Baltimore has room for error, but with their schedule coming up, Kevin, this is where they're going to have to pick it up, because let's face it right now, they're going to be facing some teams where you're going to have to face Pittsburgh twice. Cincinnati's coming to Baltimore. And then on top of it, you are still going to have to play a game against a team like Houston and an offense that is talented like the Eagles. There's a lot of good tests that are upcoming for the team.
Look, the 5-2 Steelers twice as well, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's my bar of the week / bar of the month. And Zach already knows because I said it on Kevin and Zach React. Garbage time is garbage time for a reason, but it's not an excuse to be garbage. There is a precedent with garbage time that, yes, you're going to play prevent defense. You might take your foot up off the gas maybe a little bit, but you got to finish the games and play 60 minutes. I mean, like, we talked about this on the offensive side of the ball, didn't we? After that week 3 game against the Cowboys, Lamar Jackson was very clear in his messaging of like, man, 60-minute football, foot on the gas, don't let up. John Harbaugh goes for it, up 17 in the third quarter, 4th and goal for a touchdown. It turns out they needed it to win the game because the defense just kind of gave it up at the end. And so to me, when you look at the next month, right, we talked about that. Obviously, it is the Browns, and then you got Bo Nix, and then you got Joe Burrow, and then it's whoever it's going to be between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. We can say this schedule early on has been a gauntlet for a new defensive coordinator. You got Patrick Mahomes, and apparently Raven killer Gardner Minshew doesn't lose to them anymore. Apparently, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, future Hall of Famers, MVP candidates. Like, that's tough. But this Ravens team is contending for a Super Bowl. There's not the excuse of, there's going to be learning. Yes, there is. But at the end of the day, if you have to take a year to learn for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, that's going to hurt your shot at winning a Super Bowl. So this next month is going to tell me a lot about this defense, because now that gauntlet is going to come to a little bit of a slow stop. You get to play some quarterbacks and some offenses that are struggling. And if you can't get it done, albeit, maybe we'll take the Bengals out of that conversation, but against Pittsburgh, Denver, and Cleveland, then I think we got bigger issues.
Yeah. And those are games they should, and right now it is Cleveland, next Denver, and then though it's Cincy. And I'll tell you what,
Cleveland's going to be tough.
And Cleveland, well, Cleveland probably has their best chance because of who's the starting quarterback. And no, you guys saw the news.
Sling it.
Deshaun Watson's out, but they do have a gunslinger over there, and he's known for his theatrical speeches as well. But famous Jameis Winston is going to be at the helm there, and new play caller. So if there's any shot of life, the Browns might give them their best shot this weekend, Zach.
Yeah. And I think this is, does this feel like a trap for the Ravens?
It does.
It just screams trap. This is the game that I look at the schedule, especially with, like you said, Dorsey now calling plays. You got Jameis Winston in there. They've got a shot of life that I think this Browns team needed. You never question the Browns defense. That defense is always going to be great. It was the fact that they had a historically bad quarterback playing. Look at the stats. Take everything off the field that happened. Throw that away. Look at the stats. Historically bad quarterback play. That changes. Like, it is very hard for them to replicate how poor Deshaun Watson was playing. So pretty much anything was going to be an upgrade. And you even saw it in Cincinnati. Jameis Winston, yes, like Kevin said, garbage time. But he still takes him down, scores a touchdown. I think this is the shot of life that the Browns kind of needed. And this is a big game for Cleveland. I'm not saying that this is a game that turns Cleveland's season around. But if they go out there and they beat the Ravens, with Jameis Winston as quarterback, they're sitting at, what would that be, 2-5 then?
2-6.
2-6?
I believe.
Yeah, you're not making the playoffs. I doubt it. But suddenly that's a team that's got playing with a lot more confidence, and they can cause a lot of havoc in this league.
And by the way, for this Browns defense here, they've only allowed over 21 points once, and that was against the Commanders. Every other game, 21-15 loss, 20-16 loss, 20-16 loss, and then 21-14 against the Bengals. So this defense still has some fight in them, right? And for a team that has nothing to lose, and the Ravens coming off the high of the 40-plus point burger that they put on the Bucs, you got to be feeling good here. And Kev, last point to close it out, and we got to move on.
Yeah, just to close it out. I mean, this is a Browns offense. Talk about the defense and how they've limited. Well, the offense hasn't scored more than 18 points this season. And when you're doing that, it's like your offense is actively losing you games. And the last thing is, man, on top of the nothing to lose, every team in the league, if they had an opportunity, if their season's looking kind of bleak and you don't really know what's next, first of all, you're not going to look at guys in that locker room like Nick Chubb, Joe Bitonio, all those vets who have been there and say, yeah, we're just going to give up and punt the season. You know, guys are going to play 100%, but how there'd be no team in the league that doesn't want an opportunity to take a division rival to the wire, beat him out in a close game, hard fought, and play spoiler. Like, I think Cleveland would love that. And we've seen them galvanize around a backup before. Joe Flacco and Jameis Winston aren't the same player, but, you know, it's the spark. And that's why I think so many in Baltimore wanted to see Deshaun Watson over what the other option is, because at least with Deshaun Watson, you knew what you were getting, which was not good at all.
Yeah. And again, division rivals, you got to throw out the damn book, Zach, right? Like, that's just it. Throw the book out, throw the banana out the window, because anything can happen. And especially a team that has nothing to lose, that's one that can be dangerous, even one that's been as brutal as the Cleveland Browns have been so far for this season. If you're new to the channel, by the way, hit that like and subscribe button. The Ryan Ripken Show, we're live every Monday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we do a pregame show when the Ravens are playing. This Sunday, we will be at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races on October 27th. So hope to see you all up there for that. And again, you guys can use the code Ripken, RIPKEN, if you are looking to still buy tickets there. And we'll see you up there on Sunday. Guys, I think then we've noticed that the big part for the Ravens in this offense and in general, the run game is still the run game. I mean, when I say the run game is still the run game, it's even a better run game than they've had before, which is crazy because they've historically had some of the best that the NFL has ever seen. And for some reason, though, there's still talks about that Derrick Henry could have been elsewhere, right? Specifically could have been in Dallas. Mm-hmm. At least that's what people thought. And Jerry Jones continues to say, well, no, it wasn't a fit. And we got it, right? I thought we were past that. But then once again, Jerry Jones, without really being prompted, was asked again about fixing the offense, and then again said that Derrick Henry was not going to be a fit for his offense here. And then Dan Orlovsky on Get Up this morning just said, well, if you guys think that Derrick Henry doesn't fit your offense, you might need to take a closer look at what you're dealing with in Dallas. So let's play that.
Pretty much everyone has had exactly that reaction. I can't make my cheeks do that, but that is pretty much the way I reacted to it as well. I mean, go ahead, Dan. I will let you.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
All right.
Never agree.
If Derrick Henry doesn't fit your offense, change your offense. Make your offense fit him.
Yeah.
Guess what? The Cowboys don't have a 15-yard run this season. Derrick Henry has 12. What do you think's the flaw? The player or the offense?
Yeah, I mean, look at the number. He is out rushing the Cowboys team by 50 yards a game.
This I'm telling you, respectfully, this week has shown everything that's wrong with the Cowboys, man. This is why Jerry Jones shouldn't be making football decisions. Just find talent. This is why you shouldn't be making football decisions.
It's the second time he's brought up Derrick Henry. He would be better off not bringing it up at all. He's not going to say anything that makes any Cowboy fan think any differently about Derrick Henry. Stop talking about Derrick Henry.
A hit dog will holler every time. When you know you didn't make the proper move for your football team, that's why, in my opinion, he continuously brings up Derrick Henry.
J-Mac, let me point out quickly to the point that Shefty just made. He brought up Derrick Henry in that interview. It was the morning after Derrick Henry had just had the huge game on Monday night, and Jerry said, so I know you're going to ask me about Derrick Henry. He volunteered all of that. So it wasn't as though the question was about Derrick Henry. He chose to go there by himself.
See, and I look at it as his way of putting this on coaching. General manager's job is to bring good players into the locker room. Correct. When Jerry says, I know Derrick Henry is a good player, but he doesn't fit our system, what he's saying is, you as Mike McCarthy, I could give you this guy, Derrick Henry, you're not going to know how to use him.
Yeah, so the bigger part right there, obviously, is just naming Derrick Henry again. I know they were going to bring it up as what Jerry Jones thought it would be. And look, fit-wise, him to Baltimore was the perfect marriage. Obviously, Derrick Henry could have his best season ever in the NFL after already having some incredible years down in Tennessee. But the bigger part is that it is kind of funny, is that if Derrick Henry doesn't fit your offense, you should change your offense. Any team in the National Football League, I don't care who you are, you put Derrick Henry in the backfield, you're going to use that dude because that guy is a game changer. And I think that's the biggest part of it. Fit to what it is. And for Dallas, they have all the issues right now. That one stat, Derrick Henry himself has 12 runs of over 15 or more yards. The Cowboys don't have one. You're going to need to run the football here. Hell, on a team that spreads it out more, Derrick Henry on the Dolphins would be terrifying still. It's a different style, but again, you know how to use good players. Use good players, and you fit them around what you want to do. And that's what Baltimore did with Derrick Henry. They're going, how's it going to fit? Derrick usually runs, likes running from the eye or not in shotgun, right? Well, it seems now after the first couple of weeks, Baltimore started to figure out how to fully utilize him.
Yeah, I think that's hit the nail on the head, though. It was, remember the Kansas City Chiefs game. The Ravens did not utilize Derrick Henry the way they should. It's a, we talk about, he doesn't fit the system in Dallas, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, the Ravens figured out pretty damn quickly, we need to use this guy. Like, this is not we can give him 13 carries and this is going to win us games. They've figured out over the past 5 weeks when they're kicking ass that, hey, we have the MVP in Lamar Jackson, but we also have the offensive player of the year currently in Derrick Henry. This is a guy that they have helped change their offense. You talked about at first it was, we're only going out of the shotgun. Derrick's going to we're going to have him fit into this. And then they quickly realized, why are we doing that? Why aren't we just giving the man the ball? Why aren't we working the play action with Lamar when they feel like now the defenders have to come up? Ravens figured out pretty quickly, hey, we can change some things up a little bit, go a little bit away from what we were doing to help get Derrick Henry fit in this offense, and it's paying dividends. So,
and who also changed their offense to then fit their quarterback? The Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Said, hey, for us to get better, we got to run the football. So what'd you do? You ended up having you get Jahmyr Gibbs, right, and then you have Jamal Williams as well. Sorry, before it was
it was
before
Jamal.
it was Jamal.
It was Jamal before.
It was Jamal, David Montgomery.
Yeah, and then
now,
they just got David in that.
So let me backtrack this. They said a little by little, we're going to try to make this into an offense, a two-headed monster at running back, and then open up our passing game. Their evolution has taken a couple years, right? And they had to change it, but they said, how are we going to get the most out of Jared Goff? We got to give him a running game, and we're going to build it around him. It's the same thing with Dak. You're telling me Dak wouldn't be a better quarterback if they could run the football? I think Dak, to other people, I think Dak's got some great skills, but he is not going to be a guy that can throw 50-plus times. But the Cowboys got to deal with some issues, man, and it's not going to get easier. The one thing they have working for them is that the NFC East, outside of the Commanders and the Eagles still have their question marks. Same with the Commanders. But still, it's not good when you're in the same presence of being like the New York Giants right now, which you always look as your baby brother in this situation. Right now, they kind of feel similar. Teams that have no identity and no structure as you're moving towards the second half of the season.
Yeah, and I don't want to go through all this revisionist history right now with Dallas, man. I mean, what did we talk about when in the early part of the season? Dallas could have fit Derrick Henry into their situation if they had just signed Dak and CeeDee Lamb earlier and not waited for all these other guys to get big contracts. Because now you're paying more money for guys who are going to sign anyway. And Derrick Henry's 2 years, $16 million deal is all of a sudden, oh, well, we can take some money from the CD, take some money from the Dak, and there you go. They were hyping up Zeke Elliott, the rejuvenation of Zeke Elliott, Rico Dowdle, who I think Rico Dowdle is actually a decent player, but he's not Derrick Henry. They signed Dalvin Cook to the practice squad, and everyone's like, oh, is Dalvin Cook going to have a resurgent year? I mean, I think at this point, Jerry Jones is looking back with non-buyer's remorse just because of how often he's asked about him. Like, he's like, man, if I just signed him, I'd be avoiding all this media and all the questions about him. But the big thing with Dallas is that their offensive line has not been the Dallas offensive line because that's their strength. That's their calling card usually. Is Dallas's offensive line has been really strong with guys like Zach Martin. They had obviously Tyron Smith for all these years before he went to New York, and they drafted a guy in the first round, and it just hasn't been the Dallas offensive line. So Jerry Jones essentially admitting like, hey, I'm going to give you this all-pro top 10 running back of all time, potentially, like all these great qualities, and you're not going to be able to use them. Well, with the offensive line playing the way it is now, sure, like Derrick Henry would probably be getting stuff in the backfield over there in Dallas. But before the season, nobody thought Dallas's offensive line would be this poor. So I think everybody was saying, well, Derrick Henry behind that Dallas offensive line, man, that'd be great. Now it's Baltimore's offensive line that's going and getting the job done after a first couple of weeks that weren't great. They've stepped up to the plate and are opening up rushing lanes for Derrick Henry to run through.
Great players can make teams great.
Yeah.
And great coaching can set up great players for greatness. And right now, it's not happening with Dallas, but thank goodness he's a Baltimore Raven, Brad. I'll tell you what, man, it has been great. And actually, Brad, we'll save this next part because I want you to talk about this because this is Brad's, I would like to say, our fun guy when it comes to some hypotheticals here. So like with Anthony Edwards made a comment about Derrick Henry. Before we do that, Brad, should we bring on a friend of the show and program?
Yeah, so we got our callers coming in. So if you guys are interested in calling or want to know how to get on the show, hit that join button next to subscribe. Become a channel member. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. You get all kinds of extra good content outside of the ability to be able to make calls with us. But without further ado, Iceberry Joe is on on the show. What's up, Joe?
Joe, how we doing?
Kevin, I think your banana's on backwards, buddy.
Backwards? It honestly might be.
Down.
Let's see. It honestly probably is. Hold on. I put this on.
You put it on sideways, that would be hilarious.
I have no earthly idea. I was just messing with you.
No, it's the right way.
No,
Joe.
Kevin, he was just
it's the right way.
He
That
just
was
said,
a joke.
I'm not. But you know what? Now I'm gonna try to put it on there.
He put it on sideways.
No, you did this. Oh my god. Yeah. What? What?
What?
I have no idea what he's doing.
This is
okay.
Joe, this is on you.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, this is your fault. This is your fault, Joe.
I thought he'd get the.
There we go.
But anyway.
Nah, you're a good kid, Joe. Hey, what is with the Iceberry Joe, man? What's the Answer that one. What's with iced berry? I don't think we talked about that last time.
It's the new flavor of Red Bull, and I'm having dreams about it because it has to go in every goddamn store in 5 days, and
okay,
it's been a gauntlet.
Gauntlet. Hey Joe, but no, hey, we believe in you. You're gonna buckle down. I don't care what happens. You're gonna get that shit done. You're gonna sell it. People are gonna undervalue. They're gonna underestimate you, but you're gonna get it done. You were gonna sell that iced berry Red Bull until the cows come home, Joe.
Hell yeah! Flying off the shelves. People are buying it off the cart before I even get checked in.
The Juneberry is actually really damn good.
Yes, the Juneberry is very good too. If you like the dragon fruit, I suggest you go buy it up anywhere you see it. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, I'm more of a Celsius guy. But Joe, what did you want to say about what was some of your thoughts?
Actually, I have a couple shout outs, not necessarily related to sports.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys saw what one Mr. Jelly Roll did in Little Rock on Tuesday, but he bought the whole damn city lunch at a chicken joint, $12,000, and gave a $7,500 tip.
Damn.
Bought lunch for 400 people. Also performed acoustic sets at 2 prisons in Arkansas. The inmates did not know. One of them was a recovery center for the folks trying to get their life back on track. And that man didn't have to do that either way. And it was amazing. And that was pretty cool of him to do. It sucked that I didn't get to go to the show, but it sold out really quick, 15,000 people. 3 years ago, he played a 1,500 cap venue here and sold 15,000 tickets this time. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I'd love
shout out to the Harding Bisons in Division II. Lost their 25-game win streak over the weekend to another Arkansas school down there in Arkadelphia. They were on a rampage. They only gave up 32 points all season. OVU took them out, scored 32, took out the undefeated streak. They were, if you don't think Division II athletes are athletes, you should see some of these boys I see shopping in Searcy, because Harding is actually in Searcy, and there's some big boys that go to that college.
I mean, hey, Joe, a lot of these athletes that people can look at, like Division I's great, obviously, but doesn't mean that there's not a lot of talented players at the other levels. Hell, it might be less, but there are guys that make it to the top and the cream of the crop in the professional sports coming from Division II and Division III. Hell, I got to look at for baseball, but I'm pretty sure Mason Miller was a D3 guy. I got to check on that.
Yeah, but JUCO guys too.
Yeah, hey, JUCO bandit. Go JUCO's a great way. But Joe, hey, you don't have to preach to the choir, man, but you got to give us some Arkansas facts then. We got Steve that gives us Ravens trivia. We need to know what's going on down south.
So Hot Springs, Arkansas has the baseball trail, and it's the home of the very first spring training in Major League Baseball history.
There you go.
Well, we're learning a lot here, Joe. Well, hey, Joe, we gotta keep moving. Unfortunately, we could talk for hours about shit, Joe, but we appreciate you, man. Keep going and selling stuff, even though Red Bull's not a sponsor for us. We'll act
maybe
like
one day
you, but maybe we'll have Celsius in the future. But we appreciate you, Joe.
Yeah. Later, guys.
See you, Joe.
See you, Joe.
We do also do. Deep Eddy's a sponsor of us, by the way. This thing, I'm going to smack Kevin with it, or talk about hitting a home run.
Go back to when you nailed me in the neck with an orange.
We should. We should. You know what? We had call-ins coming in too, and then we had a wild Nick Moore show up, Brad. So what do we do here?
I think we bring on Nick, Rick, and Tommy. If you can hang around towards the end, but we'll bring Nick on now.
Blame Nick then for this.
Yeah.
Nick, this is
all right. Joining us now there he is.
Why are you guys blaming me, bro?
Hey, Nick. Well, you didn't text me back.
Well, dude, life happens fast, man. Gotta be ready. I gotta keep you guys on your toes, you know?
Yeah, goodness gracious.
Can you guys hear that? Is audio fine? I'm just trying to move my mic around.
No, audio's good, man. Proud of you.
All right, cool. Good. It looks good.
It looks great. Hey, dude, out of curiosity, are you a banana eater?
Oh yeah, baby. I love my bananas.
Would you eat Kevin?
No, please don't. Please say no.
No.
Thank you.
You wouldn't eat Kevin's banana?
No, I don't think so. Kev, I don't know what the hell's going on, what I walked into, but
this is the week before Halloween, so I have an even crazier costume. This is like mini Halloween for me because I bought this last year. I didn't wear it, so I figured I'd wear it the week before, and then next Thursday. You got to be prepared when you come back because it's about to get even crazier with the costumes.
Okay.
And I expect you in costume too, by the way.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, Nick. Hey, Nick. Since it is spooky season, you've ever had a great Halloween costume?
Have I? I've been Maverick from Top Gun for a couple years. In college, I was him 2 years in a row, and then I was him 2 years ago when we went to we had the Halloween party. As a kid, I used to always dress up as Obi-Wan Kenobi. That was my favorite Star Wars character.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Did you say like any lines? Would you like mimic Obi-Wan's character itself?
The most iconic line he has is when he drops in on General Revis and he goes, "Hello there." That's a classic line.
Well, so you're looking at it's Ewan McGregor is the
yeah.
one?
I was basing my look off of him, off the Star Wars, because I was a kid. Those Star Wars movies were coming out.
Yeah,
in the early 2000s. My parents never really let us do the scary stuff, so we always had to be characters. So I was Obi-Wan.
Did you ever do like homemade stuff?
Obi-Wan was homemade all the way to the on rat tail to my mom. When I was growing up, we didn't have, we didn't have the luxury of spending money on costumes for Halloween. So
yeah,
my mom would throw together some white quilts, and she had one of her little clip-on little rat tails that hang out the back, things like that.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, man! I'm trying to think. We got a lot. We'll save for next week, but yeah, there's a lot. Brad,
I dressed up as 50 Shades of Grey one year and just grabbed all the gray paint samples from Lowe's and stuck them on my body.
Okay, I thought that was
You took it in the right direction.
That was going to head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did everyone? I looked over at Zach's face right here. We were looking, and when you said 50 Shades, like the eyebrows were.
That's what it was. It was 50 Shades of Grey all over me.
So you painted yourself or wore clothing that represented 50 different shades of the same.
I had my I had like a throwaway shirt, and I like stapled or glued 50 or all kinds of paint samples from Lowe's. That you all the free paint samples.
I didn't know if you walked around with the red room in your back pocket or something.
That would
whips or change or
hilarious.
Something like
I
that.
should have done that.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you were going.
I only saw part of one of those movies. Jamie was watching it recently. There's so much that I still don't understand. I have an idea of what the movies are about. Very clear.
It's pretty obvious what they're about.
Very obvious of what
you got to watch. You got to watch them. You got to give them a watch. They're not bad.
I'll give them a watch then too. I also got to give a watch back to. Speaking of Halloweens, I was Austin Powers and my dad was Fat Bastard one year, so I got to go back and watch my Austin Powers down the stretch. And I was like 11 at the time, 10. So
can we get Cal to bring back Fat Bastard? That'd be hilarious.
Well, we can ask him. We can ask him.
Okay.
I want my baby back, ribs. Hey, Nick.
We got the poll question to ask him too at some point.
Okay, we can do that.
Still haven't revisited that.
So are you feeling re-energized? It was a good day today. What's the barometer here?
Yeah, today was a great day. Yesterday was a quick day for me. Obviously, with everything that's happened in my personal life, I got to practice yesterday at 3:45, and we started at 4. So it was a quick day for me. A little walkthrough tempo for everybody because we played Monday. But today was a good day. For me, we just had a long field goal period. Tomorrow will be our big special teams day. So we'll get all the fine touches in there and clean everything up and get ready to rock for Cleveland.
Yeah. Hey, it's the now second divisional game of the season. So that'll be fun. Hey, dude, it looked like it was some fun down in Tampa Bay, whatever you want to call it there. It was points galore down in Tampa. But how are you feeling when the boys fell behind? Never a doubt, obviously, but 10-0, a little bit of a hole. And then it just felt like everything, the lights turned on and there was no looking back.
I think we were just taking a minute to kind of get a feel for the game. Obviously, the Bucks came out hot. Home game, Monday Night Football. They got a lot of energy. The crowd's into it. We started slow. We punted on our first drive, and that was really all we kind of had going on in the first quarter. And then once we got into rhythm in the second quarter, obviously we know how that turned out. Second and third quarter, we looked really explosive on offense. We were very put together. Obviously, we had a lot of holding calls, a lot of penalties that we can clean up and get shored up going into these division games coming up. But overall, I thought we moved the ball really well. Everyone got an opportunity to make plays. It was great seeing Bate, have a career game for him. That was a nice route he ran on that long touchdown, and he made some other really good catches. And hey, I told you guys last week, Mark Andrews, or 2 weeks ago, maybe it was. Mark Andrews is back. Yeah, it was last Monday. Yeah, Mark's back. He had himself a day on Monday night. Looked really, really good there. Obviously, I was talking with Tuck. I think it was the third quarter, and I was like, man, Derek's kind of having like a meh, he's just kind of meh right now. He's got 42 yards at that point. And literally, if the next play wasn't that 81-yard run, I was like, well, there's Derek. He was just waking up.
Yeah, and then it was also him reaching like a top speed of something ludicrous again. What was it this time, guys? You guys remember what it was?
21.72.
Good. Yeah.
They had it shown on the Jumbotron. He was like top 5 for the week. And for last week, I think it was like 21.72 or something. It was something absurd that when you look at it, you're just like, that hurts my body to get hit by that guy. And credit that corner for Tampa. I mean, that guy ran a country mile to catch him. He took a really good angle and, made a really good tackle there, hitting him low in the thigh board. And that guy was kind of killing us all night. He almost blocked a couple field goals. 27. I can't think of his name at the moment, but that was a hell of a play for him.
Hey, maybe Brad, that's a good time to bring up this whole Anthony Edwards thing for Nick to answer.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw this. Anthony Edwards had mentioned that if he was in the NFL, that he could tackle Derrick Henry no problem. Did you see this?
No, but I'm laughing at that right now.
So actually, I think somebody from the media asked Derrick Henry. We can pull that clip up. Asked Derrick Henry what.
I did see his quote. Yeah.
Yeah, we can pull it up. Here you go.
Pull it up anyway.
Everybody got an imagination. Everybody's imagination always go in their head the way they want it to. But I know. I was talking on Mark's podcast yesterday. I was like, we got to set up a training camp where basketball players come out here and put these pads on and see if they really can get through it. But he's a tall guy, so at least he ain't gonna tackle me low. So we might have to try that out one day. Derek, how excited are you?
So Nick, maybe it's a rhetorical question here. Is Anthony Edwards stand a chance to bring down Derek at any capacity here?
I don't see it. Especially if it's one-on-one, because a lot of those basketball guys, they didn't got no ass. So they got no legs because they got to run and jump and do all that stuff to play basketball. And it's going to be really difficult to stop Derrick Henry if he's got a full head of steam and you got no lower half. It's going to be very hard. So especially, I mean, if you're a small, like obviously Anthony Edwards is a big guy. I think if I'm remembering who this is, I feel like he's going to have to tackle him low, and I don't foresee that being a good use of his time. Is trying to. So
right now he's listed at 6'6", 225 is what he's listed at. Now he could be more than that. He could be. I guess that's how they are down in Georgia, though. He wasn't.
Hey. Don't get me rolling right now because we're hot, baby. The dogs, man. Hey,
yeah,
you don't want to talk that shit now.
Nobody gave us a chance being the fifth-ranked team in the country.
Flag.
Guess what? They go give us a chance now. I'll tell you that.
Oh my no! So that was the thing, Nick. I love what Kirby Smart's doing. Dog, love him. He's saying nobody gave us a chance. We were dog. We were dogs the whole week. It's like, yeah, I agree. You guys were under. Who was saying they had zero chance in this game besides a guy in a banana hat?
Everyone picked Texas. Every single person.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Look, did you watch College Game Day? I think they were 5 for 5 for picking Texas.
They were.
Has Pat ever chose anyone that's not the home crowd?
Yes.
At this point,
Pat chooses anyone that's not Georgia. Okay, that guy never picks Georgia.
Yeah, he does.
He did pick them. He did pick correctly in the SEC championship game.
Yes.
He picked Alabama,
and he probably picked Alabama when they played Georgia as well.
He picked Alabama.
So he was right when he facing Alabama versus Georgia. So he was correct on making those picks.
Hey, he's had some lucky guesses. Yeah.
Although Alabama, I would much rather be Georgia than Alabama right now. That's for sure. Alabama looks rough.
Yeah, I know. I was giving Derek a hard time yesterday.
Yeah, it's.
I wanted to wait till after the game before I said anything.
Well, maybe if you told him that before, it would have pissed him off.
Angry run. There you go.
Bro, he's still rushed for like 150, bro. He's still Derrick Henry, man. It doesn't matter if he's mad or not. You see the eyes? You see the eyes when he's running?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That face is crazy. I'm scared looking at it.
Yeah, so I was going to say with that. I think someone even put out a meme being like, why on earth or how on earth would you feel confident bringing down this man when you see his face? Like, imagine he's running right at you and you see his eyes.
No chance. I'm running the other way. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You see his eyes, and then you see his right hand just wound up, ready to just right in the face, dude. Oh, come on.
Okay, so if you're a musket, what would Derrick Henry then be for an analogy? Like, we're going to talk about a guy. All
right.
Yeah, let's see.
Did you guys ever play Fortnite? Were you guys big Fortnite guys?
I've played it.
Okay. So I was huge into Fortnite, and prime Fortnite, probably like 2018. They used to have this rocket launcher that had 4 rockets on it. You could shoot like an automatic. That's Derrick. Just rockets just getting blown out of there, dude.
We went from
the Sam. What was it? The Sam rocket. Yeah, dude. He's way more advanced than a musket. Okay.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well,
I was thinking like a I was thinking like a howitzer or something like that. But that
he's like okay. If you guys are history buffs, you know, sure. Like the Panzer tanks that the Germans had, those things were unbeatable in World War II, and that'd be him, pretty much unstoppable.
So he's
faster, stronger, more powerful. Yeah,
he's a tank.
Yeah, he's a tank.
I think a tank, or he's a 4 rocket launcher.
It's a SAM missile. Okay, SAM. It's in Fortnite. It was called the SAM rocket or whatever.
SAM rocket. Okay, we're gonna have to look this up after. I don't remember that when I played. Obviously, I wasn't as big of a gamer as you, and I know
you're. I mean, get it, dude. It's fun. Not everyone is dedicated to the craft like me.
Get it, dude. You want to play old school games like N64, and I got the works.
Backyard baseball.
Oh, backyard baseball. By the way, it's back. Oh my goodness,
is it back?
Oh, yeah. It's back.
Yeah,
I gotta get it. Okay, I don't have it.
Ahmed Khan for me has hit a majillion home runs. Pablo Sanchez, obviously,
he's just the classic. He's the best player of all time.
Honestly, is that the best video game character of all time?
He has to be.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. No one
dominating all the sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think
like if Kevin was an athlete, you know.
I wish I was Pablo Sanchez.
So are you trying to say because Kevin, is it because of the height? Him and Pablo are the same height?
Yeah, obviously.
The look,
dude.
I'm not gonna say.
I just remember the strike zone on my dog Pablo. That thing was like this big.
It was low.
And if Pete Wheeler's, his would be like this, bro. You couldn't hit. Every pitch was a strike against Pete Wheeler.
The strike zone is as big as Kevin's banana is on his head.
If I'm getting compared to Pablo Sanchez, I will take that as a compliment.
No, you're a non-athletic Pablo Sanchez. Okay.
Well, I'll still take.
Dun, 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 dun. You're a good kid.
Did they? How did your dad ever comment on how they ranked him in that game?
Oh, of his ranking in that game?
Yeah, like his stats.
I told him he was kind of ass. I did.
He really was kind of underrated. I guess they caught him at the end of his career, right?
Yeah, well, it was his last year. It's 2001.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would say if I was drafting a team, he wasn't in the top.
No.
6.
I mean, they had Derek Jeter and A-Rod when he was with the Mariners.
And Griffey Jr. in that game.
Yeah.
It was a stud.
A-Rod was good. A-Rod was good.
Yeah, A-Rod when he was with the Mariners. Yeah, they had him on the Mariners, and he was a baller.
Yeah, I mean, Josiah, I would say that Pablo is the GOAT, but he's a huge liability on defense. To me, he wasn't a liability, unlike some other players on that. Like Marquis DuBois, I was playing with him, not fast. Can't move at all. You know what I mean? Like, again, similar to Kevin, can't move as well. Not agile.
I can move. I just did 20 laps around the pool table. I'm getting ready for the conditions.
I was going to say it's probably more like Ryan Ripken, fast.
Hey, I was never built for speed. I have experience that. I've told people that, but like playing some other sports, especially for me with basketball, I can ball a little bit. That's one for me, but I am not fast, not quick.
Fair enough.
But
put it right there.
Put it right there. Yeah, we'll have to do some more polls with that, because another one I want to think about for the future, Nick, is just also even like a video game character of all time. Like, who are some of the greatest video game characters? I know you're what's the phrase? You consider your own self as the top COD player, Call of Duty player, self-proclaimed, that's the word, self-proclaimed top Call of Duty player, which is highly questionable. But like, what are all-time characters in video games across the board that are just iconic? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Mario, the Master Chief from Halo, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
James Bond, GoldenEye, yeah.
James Bond.
Nice
hey, I wanted to go back to the game because you mentioned about bait for a minute. The dude just continues to impress and prove to everyone, at least who knows him, that, hey, like, they gave me this money because I can play, and I just need to get going on the right track and get on the same page as Lamar, which essentially now they look like they're on the same page. But he is completely transformed. His presence has completely transformed how this offense looks in the passing game, man. I mean, you can just touch a little bit on his work ethic and him behind the scenes. It seems like to me he's just a guy that for the longest time just doesn't get the credit that he deserves, and finally he's starting to get that now.
Yeah, we've seen some consistency in his play this year. Obviously, he's been healthy the last year and a half. He battled injury early on and just couldn't really get his footing, if you will, early on. But we've seen this year, it's been progressively he's been getting more and more touches. He started building his confidence with some short throws, some in breaking routes, stuff like that. And then we saw last week they opened it up a little bit, let him get down the field, and we've taken shots to him down the field. I can think a couple games, maybe the Commanders and the Raiders, that we've taken a couple shots down the field with him, and we weren't able to connect, whether it was good coverage or, the ball was overthrown or whatnot. But, I think for him, he's been battling that his whole career. He was a first-round pick out of Minnesota, got injured early on, and didn't produce at the level that I think everyone thought he was going to produce at, being a first-round pick. Mm-hmm. And he dealt with a lot of criticism for 3 years, really. And I think he learned a lot last year having Odell here. And it really he kind of taught him. I wasn't there as much, but from what I've heard from the other guys, it seems like Odell kind of really took him under his wing and really taught him the game at wide receiver. And I think we're seeing that blossom this year with some of the routes that he's running. He's able to get open. He's been very reliable catching the ball, which has been, gives confidence to Lamar to give him those targets. And, Todd's done a really good job. Monk's done a great job of getting him putting him in positions to be successful and giving him those opportunities to make plays like we saw on Monday night. And, it was great as his teammate and have been his teammate for going on 4 years now to see him finally flourish at what everyone was expecting and what I think he was expecting from himself for the first 3 seasons. That now to watch it happen live, it's just great to see. He got that contract. I know there was a lot of controversy with that. Not a lot, people are going to say what people are going to say. Outsiders are outsiders for a reason. And I think Bay just kept his head down, kept working, kept, perfecting his craft. And I think now we're seeing that come to fruition in these games that we've been playing this season. And I hope to see that throughout the year because he can be that guy. And for us, he can be our deep ball guy. He's got the talent. He's got the speed. He's got the hands. He's got the knowledge of the game. And he's building the trust with Lamar and with Coach Monken and with Harbs. And, for him, I think it's great. He's still a young guy. And he signed that 3-year deal. So they have big expectations for Rashad. And I think Bates doing a fantastic job. And he's starting to play as good as he looks. And,
he's
proud of him.
answering the bell. And yeah, you said about age right now, he's going to turn 25 at the end of November. I was looking that up. Still, that like in context, still a young player. And what was the stat on him for like his catches of being third down reception or for first downs or in touchdowns before Monday night?
Before Monday night, he over 80% of his catches were for first downs or touchdowns.
Well,
and another one.
And
first down, touchdown.
We know
the
long scramble play by Lamar was a first down, and the touchdown was another one. So right there, Bates just keeps doing his thing, man. Hey Nick, you're a good kid, man. In the future, let me know when you get back early so I can time this out a little bit better.
It's hard to. The schedule is always wacky, especially now. I got to sneak in and get down here as quick as I can without creating a fuss upstairs with my little man.
Well,
little men now.
Yeah, hey, we're proud of you.
Quick shout out to my wife here because she's a champ for handling that delivery on Monday or on Tuesday morning. It's one of the most remarkable things I think men have that we have access to watch. And childbirth is something that we as men probably take for granted, and to watch my wife go through that and come out on the other side, it's a remarkable feat, and it's definitely a miracle of God. So I'm very blessed for her and very blessed that my son Declan is 2 days old now, and he's healthy as could be. He's a little chunker. So we're excited for the new addition to the family.
And you know what? We didn't want to say, right? People knew about it, but congratulations. Yeah, obviously, we all told you off air before. It's amazing. I know a lot of men and things we can complain about a lot of things, but when we're talking about with what women have to endure in that process and everything that happens right there, hey, look, the men got it easy when it comes to that. And I'm just happy that she's healthy. Your son's healthy, and then the more family continues to grow, which is
we're gonna keep growing.
I was 9 pounds as well too. I was a big baby myself.
Oh,
so
nice. I'll give a quick little fun story. I was talking to Harbs yesterday when I got to practice, and he kind of gave me the day off yesterday, and because Ashley didn't get checked out of the hospital until like 2:30, and I texted him Tuesday night, and he was just like, spend the day with your family. And my wife, being my wife, she was like, you gotta go in. And my mother-in-law is here to help, so thankfully for that. So I show up to practice. Harbs is like, we do a punt period, like a walkthrough, and he kind of, what are you doing here? And I was like, we got home a little earlier, and my wife, she wanted me to come here, and because she knew it was a big practice day for me. But we were, he was asking all these questions, wanted to know the whole story because it all happened. I got back home from Tampa at 4:15 a.m. and we were in the truck going to the hospital at 5:20. So it happened like really quickly. And then he came at 6:21 a.m. But Harbs and I were talking, and we were talking about how, how women are so strong and such warriors for being able to go through that process. And he kind of chuckled and was like, if it was up to men to repopulate the earth, we would have gone extinct a long time ago. And I was like, after watching that, Coach, because my poor wife wasn't able to get medicine because my son was already so far coming. He was already so far along. He was basically coming out by the time we got there. And so she did that all natural. And, that was a feat that I'll never come close to getting near. And she's a warrior and champion. And, I just cracked up. Me and Harbs were kind of just joking, laughing at that when he said that, because he's probably right. I'll be honest. He's probably right.
Oh, definitely right there. Yeah. And you know what I love too? This is why, like, when you give them more context about just how the guys are, and I've, for my own meetings and stuff, and with Harbs and John, like, this is just what makes them so, like, lovable. Also, just like being relatable, like that's what I love about, and that's a side that people don't get to see, as that this is why he's been doing his thing for so long. He's a good dude. From what we heard, he's a funny ass guy, but obviously he knows how to win a lot of damn football games. That family does, man. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, you got to drag. You said drag him off the field, Nick. That was the term here. And even for your case, you're gonna have to drag Nick more off the field. The Pro Bowl field, or actually the Super Bowl, because Nick's gonna skip the Pro Bowl when the Ravens.
Yeah, we're gonna I'll forego the Pro Bowl any day of the week for the Super Bowl. So.
Oh, I hope you would, Nick. All right, Nick, I appreciate you, man. You go enjoy the fam time. And we also got, and your friend Tyler, right, who's the big Call of Duty guy.
Oh yeah, T-Dog wants to come on. So if you guys want to talk some gaming, and he's a big basketball guy, so basketball's ramping up.
Hell yeah!
So he can dive into that. He loves basketball, and he loves Baltimore. He's from here, so he loves the Ravens. So
Nick, we need to. We'll have like a Nick happy hour with guests.
Nick After Dark.
Nick After Dark. Hey now.
I don't know. It is dark in here, but I don't know if we want that.
No. Oh,
we still got to get. I was gonna say there's still minor league stories we got to get from Nick too. We got some from. We got some today.
I got plenty of those. I got plenty of minor league stories.
Man, yeah. Ooh. All right, Nick, you're a good kid. I'll bother you in probably like 40 minutes. All right,
boys. Y'all be good.
All right, Nick. See ya. Nick. Good kid, man. Good kid.
Get him off the screen.
Yeah, get him off the screen. Go Tide. Roll Tide. Just kidding.
We forgot to ask him the poll question, but we need to get to that.
Yeah, what do you got on the poll?
It's been split 50-50, which is why I'm excited about. 46 people have tuned in or engaged with this. If you are a dude, is it ever acceptable to wear another man's hoodie? Yes or no?
Is there no context? Just like cold, or?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Is it ever acceptable? That's the question. Is it ever acceptable to wear another man's hoodie?
Acceptable? Yeah. It's acceptable.
I think there are certain circumstances, but I'm personally not doing it myself.
What, Zach?
Yeah, it all depends.
Like if
I'm not wearing it all the time.
If you're freezing
to death,
like if you're gonna die and you're in a short sleeve shirt out in like negative 10-degree weather and you need a sweatshirt to save your life, then yeah, I'm putting it on. But like usually I just kind of tough it out.
If my homie's got a dope sweatshirt and he's like, yeah, you always I've worn, yeah.
You mean like out to like a party or something, like a
yeah, like I don't see any.
I don't think there's any problem, Brad.
48% say yes, 52% say no. I'm also in the no group. Like I no, sorry, I'm in the yes group. I actually had to do this. I had the doors off, top down on the monster truck, and it was 50 degrees out. Didn't realize how cold it was going to be. Had to wear the hoodie, but listen, you guys know that I have my man meal group, and it's been a topic of conversation for years to come. So I had to ask it because we haven't asked it on the show yet, but it's very controversial, as you can see, 48-52.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, again, I want to wear my hoodie and all my stuff, all of my own clothes every time I can. But if I can't, I will wear something else to help me in that moment. You know what?
Very firmly in the no category.
Also, if it's someone that I don't like, if I know that they're not clean,
right?
Yeah, then it's like, I'll pass. Oh, wait, you're shivering. I see the goosebumps on your arm. I'm actually hot. If like they don't take care of
I also
themselves,
see
like
the pizza stains on the sweatshirt, and all of a sudden I'm warm.
Listen,
if they wear a banana hat, like I might be like, I'm not gonna put that banana
that's
hat
the
on.
bigger question. Would you if I offered this to you?
If you offer me your banana, fuck no.
Wow.
Go.
All right, let's
actually, so a friend of the show, Parker, we were at a football game and it was raining. I didn't have a jacket. So then he actually took the jacket off his back and put it on me.
See, that's just friends helping friends. Can we got Rick hanging here. We ask Rick this too, and we'll talk about it. Let's bring on our caller right now.
We should, yeah, let's do it.
Hey Rick, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
I'm good. Hey, where did you land on that subject first and foremost? Would you wear a hoodie under a certain circumstance of somebody else's or no?
Certain circumstances, I would say yes. I wouldn't want to, but
yeah, exactly.
I'll give you an example of something here. When me and your Uncle Billy were in high school,
oh boy,
they told me to take out the garbage in wood shop class, and it was about 10 below zero, and I was in a short sleeve shirt, and I was asking to wear his coat, and he said no. So I got really mad. I went and took out the garbage, come back in with a snowball and nailed him. And I never got in so much trouble my whole life. I'll tell you what, Mr. Fred, I thought he was going to kill me.
Hell yeah. Hey,
I got in big trouble.
Hey, good. You know what? Hey, good aim, by the way, Rick. By the way, if you're drilling, I'm assuming fastball.
Yeah, it was after I did it, I regretted it immediately, of course. He was working on a machine, and I shouldn't have done that. I was an idiot, of course.
Hey, you know what, Rick? I think we've all had our fair share of moments of doing something that we might regret. Hey, hand up in here if anyone's done something that they regret. Talking to the guy in the banana. Yeah, maybe with that. Hey, Rick, what do we got then? What else you got on the sports side then? What are your thoughts?
I was thinking about this game. I'm with Zach. This game scares me. You know, these AFC divisional games they're always, you don't know what you're going to get. You know, they bring a mean defense, so it's gonna, on paper we should blow them out because they have like the worst offense in the league, or damn near. I guess around 28th or something like that. But they do have a really good defense. So what I'm thinking they're probably, I feel like they're going to hang with us in the first half, and then we might bust it loose in the second half. So I'm thinking it's going to be a really strange score, like a 13-26 game, something like that.
Yeah, I think there's always some funky things that happen in division games, and I think the bigger part is when you inject life into a team, and that's what Cleveland's going to have by putting in Jameis Winston and a new play caller. Right, and they have nothing to lose, and it's against a division rival where everyone's expecting you. You're double-digit underdogs at home. You know, that's where things can get a little bit of crazy here. So I think that line last time I checked, Zach, was 10.5 for the Ravens. That could have changed. But to the point, Rick, you're coming off a high of having a great offensive performance, and now you got a divisional game here. And actually, it's a stretch of Cleveland's defense, I think, is solid. Not saying they're great. They're solid. And then Denver's defense, actually, the next week has been very good. So
very good.
There's going to be a lot of good tests there. And then you got the rematch with Cincy. That's definitely going to have some vengeance on the mind. But one at a time. We'll see.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. What else you got for us?
That's really it. We got some really tough games. As you know, we're getting ready to be playing a lot of divisional games once we get past Denver, I believe. We got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, all of them. We still got to run the gauntlet. So we're going to find out a lot here in the next month or so. So
yeah, we are. And I think Pittsburgh actually hasn't played a divisional game yet. So we're going to find out a lot with Pittsburgh. But one thing Pittsburgh's done well is they've done well in the division. So that's a team that I can't wait to see those matchups. But for the meantime, Baltimore's got to take care of Cleveland, try to get to 6-2, get to 6-2 and come back and play 2 consecutive home games. That's a great spot to be, especially as we move into the second half here, Rick. But any other thoughts before we let you go?
No, not really. What week is our bye week? I can't remember.
It's the first, I believe it's the first week of December, or no. So technically, I think it's like this, the Ravens play on like December 1st or something, and the week after that, I believe.
Okay, well that's good. I like a late bye.
Yeah,
there's like it's like 2 weeks of no Ravens football because there's a Thursday night game and then the bye.
Yeah.
That's a
So
long.
are they playing is it the Thursday night after the
No, so it's they play the Bengals, then I believe they play the Bengals the 7th.
They got a week 14 bye, so it's after
Yeah.
Philly. So it's actually sandwiched between,
I think it's the latest bye you can have.
Yeah, it's sandwiched between that Philly game and then they go to New York after that. So then they end with New York, Pittsburgh, Houston, and I believe that last game is against Cleveland at home. I believe is the final game, right? If I'm losing my mind, let me know, guys, but I'm pretty sure that's the last thing. So yeah, well, we'll see what happens here. And Rick, as always, Joe, I agree. Rick with the knowledge, man. We appreciate you calling in. We'll be live on Sunday for the pregame show. So if we have call-ins and you're around, we hope to hear from you. But if not, we know we'll hear from you on the next go around. Deal?
Deal, buddy. I always love talking ball with you guys.
Hey, we love
Appreciate
talking
you.
shop. We miss seeing your beautiful face though, but we'll settle for the call. And appreciate you, Rick.
All right, buddy.
Love Rick, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. We love, and this is what I'm saying. Why we love the community is we have guys on here that are following the team they're passionate about, but they know their stuff too, man. They're following the team. So that's what our community is all about. British Raven actually had put out a post and I saw it and I meant to comment because we're going to go find that call in from last week.
Yeah. Big day from Bait.
And British Raven called it.
Mm-hmm.
He called it. He was
Nick nailed
spot on, baby.
Yep.
And also, I want that clip of him saying "I'm scared shitless" or whatever the exact word was coming on.
It's gonna take a shit.
Yeah, was amazing. Was amazing here. So we appreciate that. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. Do it every Monday, Thursday, and when the Ravens play. If that's on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, whenever the heck they are playing, we are doing it. Guys, as we get close to wrapping up here, and I know Kev, you gotta get going in a little bit as well. But a couple things, we'll go over some news and notes. We got one more caller in as well, but I did want to touch quickly on a couple news and notes that we need to get to. But what's Brad, should we handle call in first and then get to that?
Sure.
Cool. All right. Brooks.
What's up, boys?
Oh,
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, no way, an Indiana boy is not in New York.
Nah, I'm down in Lexington right now, actually.
That's not Indiana either.
Yeah, it's not.
How are we doing?
Your geography's good.
I was gonna say, good geography.
I played against the Lexington Legends, I believe, was the Kansas City Royals low A team at the time. They're no longer there. That was one. Actually, MJ Melendez on the Royals played against him, and Bubic, the lefty for them, faced him as well. Actually did well against him, but it's not about me. Brooks, let's talk about you. What's going on?
What's up, man? What are we doing this week as far as Keaton Mitchell and Armour Davis? Are they playing or are they just practicing? Any inside info on that yet?
Banana Man, you got one on Keaton Mitchell?
Keaton's probably not going to play. Depending on what happens, they might have to activate Jalen Armour Davis, though. He practiced in full today. So Nate returned to practice. Marlon did not practice again. So if Marlon doesn't play, if Tampa doesn't play, then they'll probably have to activate Jalen Armour Davis. Mitchell, I expect back in the next couple of weeks, but probably not this week.
Yeah.
And then
And the left back too, right?
Arthur Millette.
What?
Millette?
Oh, Millette should probably play this week. I think this is the last week he can be activated. So
Yeah.
he said he feels great. I think he'll be back.
Seems like he's on the way back here. So
he's such a dog.
And they need-
Never in my wildest dreams, and I think I would say Arthur Millette is going to be a huge help.
Yeah. But he also just the biggest thing is his mentality. Like he'll stand up to anyone. He's got that kind of like nasty mentality that this defense desperately needs right now.
Oh, no doubt about it. They need that.
He made so many big plays for us last year too.
Yeah,
rushing off the edge, dominant.
Well, and it helps. It helps a guy that's been around, and it's the little things. That's why we're saying, like, the Ravens do have a lot of solid pieces. Now it's just about putting those pieces to the puzzle that fit. So hopefully Millette can be one of those guys that can help with an already talented group, but they're just not seeing the results right now. And again, whether that's saying town or not, just got to have to figure that out here for the last 9-10 weeks of the season. So, yeah. And what else you got? Are you just taking like an afternoon stroll?
Yeah, basically, I'm in the doghouse right now because I think I forgot my wife's boots. Apparently, well, at least I'm the one getting blamed for it. So she's out going to do that, and I'm going out for a stroll. So
That means it actually is your fault. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. I already know. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just go walk around and stop and get a bourbon or something. So, also, when we were doing our picks earlier today, if Cincy loses this week, is their season done? You think?
Yes.
They're gonna have to run. They're gonna have to run the table.
Correct.
What are they? 3-5? No,
Yeah, they would be.
They would be
3-5 if they won or lost.
They lost, they'd be 3-5.
Well, that's the crazy thing. They get back to 4-4 for Cincy.
Yeah, I think if they win this week, they're going to be a wild card team.
It was inevitable.
Well, and
Since he does this every year. Where
their defense is just so bad.
Here's the crazy thing, though. Here's the crazy thing. They win against Philly. They're 4-4, right? And then I don't know who their next week's opponent is. But then it's Baltimore. If they win their next two and they come to Baltimore and win, they're a game behind the Ravens, just like that.
They're not. I just don't see how they're beating Philly.
Maybe 3 games.
I don't trust Philadelphia yet. That's where I'm kind of at in the situation. They had a great game against a Giants team that can't score touchdowns in New York. Like, it's forbidden. It's forbidden
Especially
for them.
Daniel Jones can't.
Daniel Jones.
AJ Brown's back, correct?
Yes.
AJ Brown's back.
Form in fantasy.
Yeah. And the Bengals secondary is just not great. So I don't know. I would be surprised if the Bengals actually pulled this one out.
I mean, to beat Philly and then us 2 weeks in a row, I mean, that's going to build a ton of momentum too. So hopefully not, but yeah,
they're gone. They have Vegas after this, so they should beat Vegas. That's at home. They play the Eagles. They could very well be sitting at 5-4 playing Baltimore. It's a very good chance if they can beat Philly, they will probably be 5-4. They're going to beat Vegas. If they lose to that would be a Bengals thing to do, though. By the way, like, oh, they're back.
It's also a Ravens thing to do. Look, if the Ravens win their next two and Cincinnati wins their next two, the Ravens would still be 3 up on them, right? Because they have 2 in the loss column, 1 tiebreaker.
But the thing is, the Ravens can put the nail in the coffin, at least for them trying to catch them.
Oh, yeah.
If the Ravens sweep the Bengals, that would be a 2-game.
4 games up, yeah.
It'd be massive. It'd be huge. So,
let's not look past Jameson or Jameis slinging it on us either.
Famous Jameis. Oh, we talked about that. Could be a trap.
Yeah. Don't love it.
Remember that old segment?
But no Amari Cooper, so.
It's a trap.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, that was thinking Star Wars. It's that character. It's a trap. That
literally it.
It's going through my mind.
Cube's profile picture.
Is that
on
actually?
YouTube, yeah.
Is it actually? That's what it is.
I'll find one of his comments. Where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? He commented earlier. I know I saw him. Here we go.
Yep.
See, look at that.
There he is.
Crap.
That's the guy.
That's awesome.
We'll have to put that clip out as it's a trap. Now we'll say, do you think the Ravens could drop this game? And then play that clip. It's a trap.
There you go.
And then we're going to get the peanut butter jelly thing for you. Have you seen that clip?
Yes.
It's a peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
Electric.
Oh, goodness gracious. Brooks, any last words, though, before we're going to end up wrapping up the show here in a moment?
Nah, I don't think I have anything at the moment. We'll be in town here in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll meet up with you guys, do something together. So,
hell yeah.
Well, other than that, I got nothing.
Hey, sounds good, man. Well, hey, be good. Enjoy the doghouse. Hopefully you're out of it soon. Woof, woof.
John Harbaugh doghouse.
And we'll talk soon, right?
See you, boys.
All right, Brooks. See ya.
See you, Brooks.
All right. We should wrap up.
That hat is still so cool.
The hat is a nice hat. I
It's
broke
so
my
cool.
hat. I broke my hat rule for this hat.
Good
Yeah,
hat.
I had the coolest hat for one whole show.
That's still that.
And
the hat.
and now I've overtaken, obviously.
Kevin, stop touching your banana, dude. That's just
Whoa. Hold on. Out of context now. Come on.
No,
Audio listeners who have no idea what's happening.
And you can listen on Spotify and Apple, by the way.
That's right.
And get some rates and reviews. But you want to see more of the actions of what's happening here, you should join the channel. I think we got a lot. We probably don't need to get to the Devontae Adams. The only one thing we can just throw at Tua looks like he's coming back.
Yeah.
Looks like it's coming. And Tyreek Hill at least even said that. And specifically for anyone that has them in fantasy or the Dolphins, we'll just play that clip for you quickly. Tyreek has one brief message for all of the fantasy managers out there. Let's play that.
We're back, baby. Strike up the fucking band. We're back, baby. Start me this week, baby. Let's go.
So
I'm starting Tyreek this week.
I'm starting him everywhere.
I
starting
think
him everywhere.
every Dolphin,
Now or never.
every Dolphin, Tyreek, Waddle, Achane, start.
Yeah.
Have to. Have to start him. And they're playing
back.
And they're playing the Cardinals, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So woo, I'm just saying, give the ball to Devon Achane a lot too. I wouldn't hate it. But it's true how badly the Dolphins needed Tua. It still baffles me with all the talent that they have in the world. When he went down, they couldn't figure out how to live without him. And that's not saying it's nothing wrong with anything else, but you see when teams have a good fit, they're able to overcome big adverse moments. Like when the Ravens when they lost Lamar, Huntley gave the team a chance. And you saw then Huntley in his situation in Miami, that team looked lost, right?
Yeah.
And Huntley looked lost. The Steelers had two quarterbacks, and I still like Justin Fields, don't get me wrong, but when they had Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, they were having chances to win games, right? So that's one thing for the Dolphins, man, and they got to figure out if they can be a contending team, because the last 2-3 years, they got a lot of talent, but they don't.
Paper Tigers.
What?
Paper Tigers.
Paper Tigers. Paper Tigers. And Joe, you need a win so bad. I think Joe's lost every single game in the Holy Shirts.
Well,
and Pants
I mean,
lane.
when your first round pick was a kicker, a rookie kicker. I mean, we
no
weren't.
no one to blame there. But
Yeah, he picked what Lambo from or no?
No,
It's,
it was Cam Little and then
Cam Little.
He picked.
You deserve to lose.
Yeah,
Game, bro.
it was a big
Ben
Arkansas.
Roethlisberger.
It was a big Arkansas heavy draft for Joe.
So let me ask you guys a quick question then. This weekend, Dolphins. What do you think the stat lines go for Tyreek Hill or any who has the biggest fantasy day for the Dolphins?
Devon Achane.
Tyreek Hill, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay, we got that one. We got Devon Achane. You're saying, Zach?
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill to everyone's going to be like, oh, here we go. It's the Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle show again. And then they're going to do what they did at the beginning of the season. And Achane's going to get just a ridiculous amount of screen passes now that they're all over the top, and he's just going to work magic.
Yeah. Huntley was never going to work there because he can't throw deep. And that's what the Dolphins need in order to make their offense work. So
they didn't even throw medium either.
No, I mean, I went on Buffalo radio before week 4 with the Ravens, and they had asked me, they're like, all right, around the AFC East, their division. It's like, okay, Tyler is about to step in. What do you think? And I'm just like, I don't really think this is the quarterback for them. And
I thought Tim Boyle was going to help him when he came in.
Should have signed Tannehill.
He should have. Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Tannehill, baby. Hey, back where it all started. So we got Tyreek, Achane. You got a different pick there, Kev?
Waddle. I have Waddle in a lot of leagues. I'm going to go Waddle.
The bad pick.
Waddle.
Okay. Actually, I'm curious real fast. What is? Oh, they don't have they haven't put out the props yet for the Dolphins. Because past few weeks it's been Tyreek Hill 50+ yards he's been at like 52. So I've been wondering if I want to see how drastically it goes up, because obviously it's going to go up. But I'm wondering if they're going to be like go back up to his like 93 type, like it'll be, or if they're going to slowly be like, okay, it's to his first game back, we're going to give him like 65. So
well, if that happens, then
I will be.
Then
we will be there.
We're going to bet the studio.
Oh yeah,
at the jukebox.
We might bet the
yeah, we don't bet the jukebox.
Don't bet that jukebox.
Yeah, we're not doing that. All right. I think we got to get out of here. Shout out Deep Eddie, by the way. Can you throw me one of those things, see if I can hit it?
The golf ball?
No, the football.
Yeah, please don't.
I know we're not doing any gridiron golf right now. We're going to do that for we actually might take take it up. Might take it up to Hollywood Casino. Hey, batter up. Come on.
Skycam.
Oh, that was take.
Oh, never mind.
I was gonna smack my computer, Kevin.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, but why don't you give it a pitch to hit?
Okay, all right, let's go over there.
Kevin, throw the ball.
Just chuck the ball.
Up. Come on. Oh,
Foul tip. Jesus.
kind of a little bit. Oh no.
The crafty
Oh.
lefty.
One more.
The crafty lefty was always Rip's demise.
Oh, foul ball.
Foul
Here
ball.
we
Yeah,
go.
lefty on lefty is not good.
Oh,
For
I'll tell you what, lefty on lefty, like low key, actually, like had great moments.
Did you have a mic in the way of your swing then?
I didn't have a mic. Let me just make sure this actually can work real quick. Hold on. Just stay there, Kev.
I hope he misses. Ooh. All right, okay.
Holy hell, it can. Wow. All right, here we go. Come on. Let me move this down.
Oh, you can't see him anymore. So
Give it in head.
Oh, it's really hard this angle. It's really hard on this angle. I'm trying to like turn my shoulder in. I can whip it this way like a tennis racket, but I don't want to do that. Here. No, I'm gonna put the mic first. No, you know what? Screw it. Just throw it. Oh, up and in.
I did inside. I was inside on you.
Oh, shit. You know what? I'm just gonna put this down.
this damn show. I swear to God.
All right, let's see how this is
I've
going.
struck Ryan out like 5 times, by the way.
Oh my God. I don't know if I like this better.
There we go.
Oh, that was solid contact.
Oh,
that was a good one.
I don't like that. I feel like I'm going to drill this. You know what? Let's move out here.
That mic is solid though.
Yeah, but we've already paid for these. And again, if you would like to help us upgrade our equipment, join for the membership. We'd appreciate it.
Hit the join button next to subscribe. Oh my God, he really is a Savannah banana now.
It really is.
Rip just wants to hit Kevin so bad. There's actually people still watching this bullshit.
Yeah, 27 people still.
You guys are real ones. I don't know if you're smart or dumb, but you're real ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm suddenly now in foul tip territory.
You might be.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that one was out of here. Oh.
Go, Kevin.
This is the content people come for.
Oh, man. Stay right there. Stay right there. Do you think I can hit Kevin from here if I try to throw it up to myself?
Yeah.
Think I can hit Kevin?
We're going to try to hit Kevin.
All right, get ready. Can you see him?
Yeah, we can see him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How can you miss that banana?
Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to do the other way. Throw me that one. Tennis racket way is dangerous.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
This is why.
She's going to kill Kevin.
Oh.
Oh, my God. He's going to hit him right in the banana. That's actually kind of what I need. I need Rip to hit Kevin right in the banana.
Yeah, you can't miss the banana. Oh, that one was close. Oh, that was a nice solid contact.
Jesus Christ. He's smoking him in there.
We're now switching batters.
Oh, Jesus. Nobody wants to see Kevin swing.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. See, what the hell was that? Tomahawk bullshit. More tomahawk bullshit.
He's asking for it down. Oh, well, Oppo.
Oh, with the bat flip.
Oh, I thought you had it.
The bad twirl. He's got. He's charging them out. Oh my God! Rip just grabbed him by the banana. Oh!
No way! That's a great one.
You can't. Kevin can't top that one.
I don't really know what we just witnessed, but
I don't either.
I don't know if I can say I'm
I
glad.
was wiffle ball champ back in the day.
Yeah, that was
that happened.
I'm definitely gonna that banana's on there.
It is. It's Velcroed in the back.
Oh my God.
Velcroed in the back.
Velcroed in the back.
I actually was trying to rip it off and I couldn't.
I know you were dragging him by the banana.
That doesn't sound right.
That's 100% going on the socials.
Oh God, I was here like ooh, a banana. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's in NHL 3-on-3. When the banana peel just pops out, it's like, oh no, a banana. Like that can be Kevin.
Oh no,
Yeah.
banana.
Oh God. Yeah. If you guys want us to do more of those things, we might hit a home run with
I might
Betty.
want to do that every week now. I might want to do gridiron golf followed by home run derby.
I'm gonna use two hands next time on this. That's like
a wiffle ball bat right there.
Yeah, but it's with Deep Eddie, we have a lot of fun with them.
Yeah.
We really do. All right. Do we get on out of here? I think we should.
Yes.
I think we should.
All right. Hit the music. As always, here on the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good Friday. Be safe. We'll be back on Sunday for a pregame show, so check us out. Have a day, have a night, and we will talk soon.
You saw it.